What's up, everybody? Ringside Seat Wrestling Talk on the Sports Box, episode 13 of the relaunch. We're going to try to do this a little more often than it's been for the past year and a half. However, welcome to the show, Lou Bertacia, special guest host Joe Rickson, whose hockey team is winning, losing? They're winning. Good. Screw you. we're on tank mode. Brian Dunn will be joining us shortly. Guys, we're on the road to WrestleMania. It's heating up to a degree. I think some of the things we talked about a couple weeks ago were kind of prescient, as they generally are on the show. Lou, how are you this evening? I like your hat.
I'm good, thank you, sir. I like yours as well. I like the
matches my
quarter
shirt.
zip. Yes, it's beautiful. I love it. Go Yankees.
Joseph, are the Sixers making the playoffs?
Yeah, I think
for like a week, 2 weeks, or
for probably 3 games.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, probably 3 games.
Like, follow, and share. We appreciate that. We will get started tonight. You know, again, it is WrestleMania season. We're about 2 weeks out now, so it's always nice to reminisce because generally reminiscing gives us more happy memories of what's going on currently. So, excluding WrestleMania 17, widely regarded as the best WrestleMania of all time, and excluding WrestleMania 40, which I know Lou and I have a personal affinity for because we were there. It was also really, really good, right? What sticks out to you as maybe your favorite WrestleManias? 1, 2, however many you like. Maybe ones you did not like for whatever reason. Just your thoughts on what comes to mind when you think of love and hate of the Showcase of the Immortals.
Well, for me, it's excluding those two. I think my 2 favorite WrestleManias happen to have my 2 favorite matches of all time. Not the best matches, but my favorite matches. One is definitely 18, Hogan and The Rock, just because, you know, everybody knows, and I make no bones about it, I was the biggest Hulkamaniac in the history of Hulkamaniacs. So to see him come back after becoming the leader of the NWO and coming back against who at the time was my favorite wrestler, The Rock, that was one of those, I think Jim Ross said it, it was Babe Ruth against Barry Bonds. I think that was the analogy he used, but to see that happen, it was like, you know, and then the goosebumps of the crowd turning on The Rock and cheering Hogan, that to me is paramount. And then, of course, the second one, WrestleMania 6, brother. WrestleMania 6. Hogan and Warrior was the epitome of wrestling back in the golden years of WWE. There was nothing bigger. There was nothing better. That match alone, just for the star power, and because that was the first time we actually saw Hogan lose clean without the twin rash or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, it blew your mind as a kid. And then, you know, but to me, those are the 2, definitely 6 and 18, that stick out aside from the ones that I've actually been to for sure.
Yeah, I forgot. Like at that point, he was like invincible, right? Like you didn't think Hogan was going to lose to anybody. Like we kind of like we forget about that. But I mean, that was crazy. Man, my favorite. I think I'm going to go with. I thought about this a lot. I think I'm going to go with. 31 because of the Seth Rollins cash in. I mean, I was just Seth Rollins was peak, like crazy heel. Right. And it wasn't just that he cashed in. It was the way he cashed in. I remember his crazy face running down that 4-mile long ramp at was it Levi Stadium? I think it was in. Yeah. And like that to me, like it wasn't like a necessarily, I mean, we see cashes all the time. Right. But the how he delivered that with the insanity that only he could have provided at the time was just awesome. And like I said, I was a big Seth Rollins guy at the time. I still am. I like the guy a lot. But I just remembered like that cash in and just being like laughing at how ridiculous he was pulling off the crazy. And it was cool to see Brock sort of lose the belt in that way. It kept Brock, you know, it certainly still elevated Brock because he didn't really lose clean. Right. So like that, you know, it wasn't like so I was a big fan of 31. I think that's my favorite just because, like I said, that big WrestleMania moment at the end that Seth Rollins got. By far worst, by the way. Can we talk about worst real quick? 27, 2011, with the infamous Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler match. I thought about this today too. I was like, what's the worst one? We always talk about what's the worst one?
Yeah.
And I think that will arguably be the worst of all time.
Can I give you a hot take?
Yeah.
Please.
I didn't like Seth Rollins' cash in at 31, and I say that because from a logical standpoint, you have this thing that allows you to go for the belt whenever you want to, and the time he chose to do it was to enter himself into a triple threat match, where even Steiner math will tell you your odds are not as good as a one-on-one match, or when someone is dead in the ring, like a Dolph Ziggler did to Alberto Del Rio. Like those kind of things are what we think about when we think about the cash-in, right? The opportunistic type stuff.
Yeah.
To interject yourself into a match where there are two other people, meaning that at best your odds, you have a 33 1/3 chance. Even if you're a Steiner, it doesn't matter. I understand why. I get it. This is, it's wrestling, right? But like that's the part to me where it's like, I don't know.
And then he had lost previously too. He lost.
He did.
That was the Randy Orton, the magnificent RKO.
Yeah.
Is anybody hearing feedback from anyone right now, or is that me?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Hold on, let's do something. Is that better?
Much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all technology. It's all stupid anyway. So I've always been partial to Manias 4 and 5 because they were in Atlantic City. I was actually in Atlantic City the other day on the anniversary of WrestleMania 4. So it's kind of cool as I'm walking and I see the building that hosted the first back-to-back WrestleManias, the first one, actually the last one since this year. So it's always kind of cool. Today is actually the anniversary of WrestleMania 5. I always been partial to 6 because I just, the funny part about is that WrestleMania 6 theme song that was only for 3 Manias, but to me that's like the quintessential Mania theme song. But that was only there for 6 through 8. I know I'm on the show. I actually liked WrestleMania 9 because of the ending.
I did too.
People like on WrestleMania 9 a lot because I liked it because of the ending, and it's a very unique venue, and frankly in a parking lot is what it really ended up being.
Yeah.
I've always been partial to 10 in the Garden, just the double championship matches. Hated 11. It's not a fan. 15 to me, I think, just because of that was Austin Rock 1. Like that was like Attitude Era at probably its absolute peak. Right. Like, I think that match, that moment in Philly was the high point of that era to me. And I went to 35. 35 was okay. That means I did not like. I was not a fan of 22 for some reason. I just thought it was weird. I go back and forth on 19. I think there's good parts and bad parts.
19 was pretty good though.
Yeah, no, good parts
Vince
and bad parts.
Hogan,
I go back and forth on it. No, I go back
Jericho,
and forth.
Shawn.
Sure. The Brock Lesnar almost dying in the ring. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it just like you think back and like there was just so many great moments. And I've always said like Mania obviously is its own entity. Like, we don't call them years. We just say, hey, remember 31, remember 36. Like that's the only thing to me, at least in pro wrestling, that is treated that way. So I've always had that affinity towards it.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I just it's always just like surreal to me to look at what is now Atlantic City Convention Center, this like boardwalk hall. That's frankly this dump on the boardwalk. And like this is where like the center of the wrestling world was for 2 years in a row. At the height of the golden era is just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Now it's the home of the MAC basketball championship. That's the crowning achievement every year.
Disney on Ice goes there too, man.
I went to Arena Football there.
The Card Sharks?
I went to an AEW show.
Is that what it was?
Blackjacks.
AEW went there one time. It was the debut of Keith Lee, and I had floor seats. And I think that was the TV debut of Adam Cole Bebe too, in the boardwalk hall. And I remember at the end, Tony Khan came out and he was like, "Oh, I wanted to." Now he's a mark, and we all know Tony Khan is a wrestling mark, but he's really a fan like all of us. And I'll never forget that he came out and he was like, "Oh, I wanted to stand in the middle of the ring and just look out to see where he was specifically talking about the Macho Man, because the Macho Man was in WrestleMania 5. So he was, I wanted to see where Macho Man stood and where he wrestled against Hulk Hogan. And he was like, took a second to marvel. But yeah, it's a shame that they don't host big time wrestling events there no more. That would be insane.
There was a Raw there I want to say 97 or 98, where I think it was the Nation and DX fought in the parking lot.
That's awesome.
I remember this vividly, like of Boardwalk Hall, and like I've seen that place, and it's just kind of it's just surreal sometimes when you think about these moments.
Didn't it host one of the Rock's like returns too? Like I feel like he came back from one of his stints away one time back in like the early 2000s too.
It's crazy because I remember it's got a big stage at the end, right? And I remember watching 4 and 5 and the seating arrangements. It's just kind of weird. It's actually kind of insane when you think about it that they went from WrestleMania 3 with 93,000 people to this 11 or 12,000 seat venue for 2 years, and then to Skydome.
And then they went to Vegas, and Vegas was only like 16 or 17,000 people too. Like was it WrestleMania 9? I think.
Oh yeah, right. That was outside. Yeah, it was like they just built it up out of nothing.
Yeah.
8 had a bunch of people, 7 had nobody because they moved 7 in because they couldn't sell 7. They're going to kill Slaughter. No, they're not. You couldn't sell 7. Yeah, so those to me are.
And you know what, Brian? I didn't say my least favorite WrestleMania.
Oh, go right ahead, sir.
And this is your fault. I'm gonna blame you specifically. I've said this before publicly, but WrestleMania 30 is my least favorite WrestleMania, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we were at your house, and the lag came at the precise moment that Brock Lesnar pinned the Undertaker. We could not believe when the lag came back and everybody's shocked. Like, wait, what happened? We missed the pinfall that ended the streak, and it was Brian Natar's fault.
I'm sorry, I do not run WWE Network. I have high-speed internet. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
I remember that vividly. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why so I was $9.99, right?
I missed it too. I was not at your house. I missed it though too because I work from home, so like I spent money on like the highest like level internet, and mine went out too. I feel like half of the world missed the pin. So
that was brutal.
Yeah, it came back literally right as that one guy was like doing the surrender cobra, like right when he came back, and I was like, "What did I miss? What did I?"
No.
No, my favorite though, kind of to be honest. So like we all enjoy this as like a hobby, like we enjoy watching it, but the people that are so emotionally invested that they're like crying about it. I'm sorry. Like I'm glad you want people to be emotional, right? Like we say, like the wrestling business, they say like you either want to be loved or hated. You don't want to be anywhere in the middle. It's the worst place to be, right? But there is a line, I think, where if you are crying and you are a grown man. Now there are times where it's appropriate. You know, we've all seen our greatest athletes go out, whatever. I couldn't believe a number of grown men that were like emotionally wrecked. Whereas if I had been there, I would have been like, oh my God, I just witnessed the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. Sure. I can't believe I was here for this. I actually be stoked. Like I just that will be the thing that blew me away. Well, that blows me away forever is
You ever go to like a sporting event? Hockey's a great example of this. Like all your team scores or whatever, or now they're down like 5-1, and people in the crowd are going, yeah. Like, you're losing 5-1. Are you aware of the point in the game? This doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I blew money. So anyway, the reason I wanted to ask that question, and I just want to talk about this just for a minute. My solo of the evening. I was on Twitter as I normally am during work hours because whatever, and I saw like one of the promo videos for WrestleMania 6. And it's like 7 minutes of Gene Okerlund talking about call your cable provider and, you know, all that kind of stuff going through the card. And I just want to show you this is why I want to show you. So this is the WrestleMania 6 card. Okay. There were 14 matches other than the dark match, which I'm sad I missed Paul Roma and the Brooklyn Brawler. But I just, does anything here stand out to you? If not, it's okay. I promise I will lead into something. Does anything
I'm pulling it up.
Let me see if I can make it bigger.
I'm laughing at the 19-second Hart Foundation match.
So, well, that's part of it, right? There were 2 matches out of the 15 that broke 10 minutes. And don't forget that this was the one with the long entrances and the thing in the ring and they take them back and forth. But these were a lot of, like, if you got up to pee, you probably missed 2 matches by the time you got to the bathroom and got back, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of long matches, but they fit 14 on the card. WrestleMania 12. There were 6 matches on the card. Now, one of them was for an hour. Right. The other ones had a little bit of length to them, minus the the Ultimate Warrior match. But again, very small, very short card. An hour-long match at the end was going to be a third of your show. Right. 31. There were 7 matches on the show. But what you're noticing is now you're seeing matches 13 minutes, 18 minutes, right?
Sure.
So you're seeing a lot more length to the matches. 35 felt like it lasted forever. I think it got done at 1 a.m. Thank God I had a limo to take me home that day. What you'll notice again is exclude the pre-show with Braun Strowman and up. So 16 minus 5, 12 matches on the show. But again, 16 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 23 minutes for Kofi and Daniel Bryan. 24 minutes, Triple H and Batista.
Back to 35 real quick. Lou, you remember I turned to you with 2 matches left, and I was like, dude, I'm done,
beat, man. Yes.
Like I'm a grown up now. Like I gotta be at work tomorrow. Like this is going on entirely too long.
35 was brutal though, because we also made the track early in the day and we pre-gamed a little bit, and then we got into the stadium, then we watched the pre-show. It's like it literally was an all-day affair.
And we were lucky, like 35. We not to brag, but our seats were great. We had access to like this premium area, and it was like, and it still felt forever. And we didn't have to deal with the inconveniences the average person has to deal with. And it still felt like it was forever.
41. 7 matches per night. Split up.
Yeah. Much better.
I say all that to say this is, in an era where a lot of people on the internet like to remind you that, Dynamite had 27 matches and it was 4 hours long, and Raw had 3 matches of 2 minutes apiece and it was a lot of talking going on. The point I'm trying to make is the matches are longer now. So because of that, that's why you need a 2-night WrestleMania, right? Because if you're going to have, and we'll talk about the card, and I have problems with here and there for it, but if you're going to have this amount of talent on your show, and you want to give them a chance to actually do something while they're in the ring, and you're going to have these 9-10 minute matches, unless you intend your show to go from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., you kind of need a second night. So I know that there are people in our friends group who say go back to 1 night, so on and so forth. I know, listen, once a toothpaste left the tube on 2 nights, that was never happening again, because they really can sell twice as many tickets, and that's what they're in the business. They are in a for-profit business. But there's a method to their madness. Lou, Joe, I remember how exhausted I was the day after 35, and I'm falling asleep during the main event. Like that should not be. Right, I'm sorry. Like, now, again, you can make whatever. I'm not going to say it's a women's match why I fell asleep. I would have fallen asleep through anything. I was just tired at that point.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's now 12:30 in the morning. It doesn't work to me. So all of the talk of, it needs to be 1 night, we don't like it to be 2 nights, they give themselves so much more real estate to work with that I don't know how they could ever go back.
No.
Because there are still people who make it go.
You're absolutely right. And I think about it from an executive position, right? Like the longer I have these matches to go, the more I can evaluate the talent that I have, and I can start thinking about storylines, right? It just gives me, as if I was in creative, just some additional wiggle room, and just, I'm going to get a better idea of how talented somebody is in a 15-minute match. I'm going to see if they're better at 15 versus 1, right? Like there's a business element to like evaluating talent that like I would really appreciate if I was in the executive chair with a format like this. And I just, like I said, the people who say they want one night of 15 matches clearly don't have children they have to put to bed or work the next day.
Or children
like,
that are watching.
Like, I'm sorry. The Dynamite crowd, I'm sorry, I'm going to go off on a rant for a minute. All right. The Dynamite crowd that likes no one knows who most of these people are. Like, if you go to this is going to be an AEW rant. This is the Joe solo for a minute, the AEW rant. Okay. If you go to an AEW show, you will not have an idea who 80% of the wrestlers are. The AEW crowd likes to be the crowd that goes, oh, you don't know who this guy is? Oh, he was in New Japan for 19 years, and then he did the indie circuit, and now he's here, and he's great. And it's like, okay, I don't know. There's too many wrestlers on this card. And so, like, it actually prevents me from watching these shows, these other shows, because I don't, it feels almost inaccessible. Whereas I feel like I can miss a few weeks here and there, and I can come back in to WrestleMania and like have a general idea rather quickly of what these matches are, because we're prioritizing the marquee matchups instead of trying to fit 15, 18 matches on a card.
Yeah, no, I the 2-night model, I've said it from the beginning, was the way to go, because back in our day, like, my daughter would bully me for saying there wasn't as many wrestlers on the roster. There wasn't as many championships. Now there's too many champions where you have to feature the champions. And if you don't, then it's, well, why didn't you feature the champions? And then again, just from a fan, from having lived through WrestleMania 35, the 2-night model is such a better fan experience, because you get, like, WrestleMania is our Super Bowl. It's we people plan around this particular event, and now that it's a 2-day affair, you can make it more of an event. You really could take time off if you want to from work, go travel, whatever, make it as big a spectacle as possible. Where the one night, it's like, if you do it one night, you're not going to feature somebody's going to get missed, and then at that point, what are we really doing? Then they're buried. Then, they don't want to push a guy. Then people go on Twitter and get offended. So it's like, having the 2 nights, yes, it opens up being able to display more people, more talent, because the roster is full. Is probably the fullest it's ever been right now.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's so talented. It's not like people are trash where you just want to stuff them into the dark matches, the Brooklyn Brawler type matches. Like, people have talent. Jacob Fatu has got all the talent in the world. Oba Femi, Tricky, you know what I mean? People still want to see Drew McIntyre. It's like, you want to see all these people, and if you do it on one night, somebody's gonna get missed. Something's gonna be boring. Something's not gonna be as exciting. And we get 2 nights of WrestleMania. We get 2 nights of the grandest stage of them all. What is there not to like about that?
And WWE makes a lot more money.
Sure.
That's the other big thing too, is like, and there's a business element too. Like, you want gate, right? You want lots of gate. Me being a former ticket person, like, you want heavy gate, but there's also there's other additional economic factors. Like, if you have 2 nights, you're going to have more and more local tourism boards reaching out to try to get these events, because that 2-night stay now turns into a full weekend or a 3-night stay. So like there's tax breaks and economic investment, and like I said, these sports tourism authorities that want butts in seats, dates booked for these venues. You're going to get a lot more in economic return, not just in gate, but all the extra stuff they'll throw in to compete for these events. Really, I mean, WWE's running the show. I'm sure there's no shortage of venues that are reaching out to WWE every year saying, consider us for Mania.
And having the 2-night schedule too, what it eliminates is the need for, like, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You're gonna get all those people on the show anyway. Now you miss guys in the little Battle Royale thing. This is the perfect for WrestleMania. I don't know. It's pushed into SummerSlam. That's okay, because that's also, like, really one of the other big show. But I don't know. The 2-night model is definitely better way to go.
Brian Dunn, welcome in.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, you got a little late. So I went off on my solo.
Joe, nice to meet you.
The Rangers tied the game, by the way, Joe. So you can be the bag.
Joe, just to let you know, I hate AEW, especially even more after last night. So
we're on the same page.
So my premise here, Brian, I know you're coming in a bit late, was I was talking about WrestleMania 6 and how if you look at the matches here, like nothing was barely anything was over 12 minutes. So
When was
they were
this?
able to fit 13. This is WrestleMania 6.
Oh,
So you could fit all these matches in because they were 5, 6, 7 minutes. Whereas these days, to have the same amount of matches,
your average match is anywhere between 15 and 18 minutes long.
Exactly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Different age too. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Okay, I was really messed up for a minute. I'm like, what is going on with this?
No, that's all. So there are the detractors to the 2-night model, but I do think that for Mania, for SummerSlam, I don't know about anything else, it does
You can show Sophia.
lend itself to that. Your thoughts, boys. Now again, WrestleMania's in 2 weeks. Tonight's not the prediction show. Tonight is let's just see how things are going.
Being thrown together too.
And yeah, it does. We had that conversation, Lou, just now about that you don't need the Under the Giant Battle Royal match to get people into WrestleMania, right? But then you have a 5-way ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, and you have a fatal 4-way tag match for the Women's Tag Team Championship, and you have championships that will not be defended on your biggest show of the year. Does it feel to you that the card is being... Oh, yeah, Montreal. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Let's go. That it's being thrown together. And I say that because I remember all of us sitting here approximately 2 years ago saying, wow, the storytelling is really great. It feels like all these stories are interwoven into each other. And
is that because we were there?
We were leading into it, yeah, to a degree.
To a degree.
But I look at this card, right? And I say, why is Seth Rollins facing Gunther? Like, what is that, right? Now, I know what it really is everybody else got hurt and you couldn't do anything else, right? But, like, that doesn't feel like something that you've been building towards for a while. Or, why did the Vision win the tag titles? Like, when you could have done something with Seth and Logan. Gunther is a career killer. Yeah, Ray got hurt, fine. But I don't know. I don't think you take the guys. So it should have been Seth Braun and Gunther Ray, and because they have a match, they face each other. Some of this to me it does feel like we're back to the air. We're back to throw them on the card. We'll figure it out.
Check Henry.
Don, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm dictating my son to bring the dog in because it's raining.
Okay.
Listen, fellas, I'm a diehard wrestling fan. I don't think I have to tell Lou and Brian. They know how much I am. Joe, I am as well. A childhood friend usually follows us on here. Tim, him and I grew up together in a playpen watching WWE. It was like freaking Earthquake and Typhoon versus Legion of Doom days.
Yes.
I am not invested in this WrestleMania, gentlemen, and I hate to say that. I feel like everything is just shoved on us. It is just last-minute booking. I really thought we had something going with Stephanie coming out Monday night. Spoiler alert if anyone didn't see it. And slapping Cody in the face and saying, you don't know Randy like I do. He's diabolical. He's destroyed my family, blah, 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 blah. And then the show just went like a sunken ship, like a Titanic. And same thing, like you said before. The Usos losing to the Vision in a New York street fight, it's just gotten stale again. And the worst was last night, seeing in a hometown of Chris Jericho of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and he comes out to
like
Judas, and it was like this, yay, yay, no one's singing Judas. And the guy you could have had him against at WrestleMania, which would have been a huge pop, is if you bring Gunther out and go, I've beaten every legend ever out there. I can kill your legends. I can do this. Who do you got for me? And then you see the countdown. And then you hear Judas hit. And you have Jericho come out and shut his mouth up. It wouldn't really hit for a match, but it would have gotten a pop in Las Vegas. Now the best thing the Las Vegas is going to get is their showgirls. So I'm just not into it, man. I like, okay, Cody, Randy, yeah. Punk, Roman, I mean, that was already kind of too much when, I mean, like Brian said weeks ago, what is the biggest thing you could say to somebody? You hate them. Oh, I'm going to bury you next to your father. Well, that was maybe too much. But like now you're getting the whole Samoan. There's only one thing they could do to make this right, and I'll touch on that later.
We'll
but the card is just it doesn't hit.
Where I'll
So,
disagree
I
with
feel
you,
like-
Don. What I was going to say was I'm invested in parts of it. It's the parts that feel like filler that I can't be
Did
invested.
you let him in?
Yeah.
I can be invested in the title matches. I can be invested in. We're going to talk about Oba and Brock. I can be invested in those things. When
I'm sorry, Oba Brock. I am invested.
Sure.
In, absolutely, yes.
when you find a way to get the U.S. title on Sami Zayn, only to have him face Trick Williams in 2 weeks, where he's probably going to lose it, like it just feels like again, you can do a lot with wrestling if it makes sense. People get mad when it doesn't make sense, right? Even if you think it's dumb, if it makes sense, you're okay. The problem is when there's just no point A to point B. How did we get here and why? And that's a great example of why, right? Like, why do you need Sami Zayn to hold the U.S. title for 2 weeks only to drop it to Trick Williams? Like, what?
I hate that. I hate
where is
that personally.
going, right?
Stupid
Like,
choice.
why
Stupid choice.
Jacob and Drew have a little bit of history, but that feels like they had nothing else for them, so kind of put them together.
And that's such a dumb format. I hate the unsanctioned match. I think that's like it's
I
an
totally
unsanctioned
agree,
match that's also on the show that is being officiated. Like it's just a dumb concept. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
You have two guys feuding, and it's not even a match, and they're just gonna beat the shit out of each other.
It's not a match,
No
but there's a
one's gonna
referee.
win.
And
It's basically Kevin
WWE
Owens
it's on the
versus
it's on the show.
Sami Zayn from a year and a half ago, and where
We're
Kevin.
I'm Adam Pierce. I'm going to make this match, but damn it, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna have anything to do with it.
It's almost as
That
bad.
is
Lou,
official.
do you remember when we went to? Were you there, Brian? Too at Backlash where they had the no disqualification match with. It ended in they both like nut shot each other, and it ended.
No.
It was who was it? It was. Oh man, it was just so. It was like a no disqualification match that ended because neither guy could get up.
Yeah,
It was Shinsuke and somebody else.
My claim to fame
I
for
remember
worst
that.
things I've seen live was a Punjabi prison match where I actually couldn't see.
Oh yes,
God.
I was there for that show as well.
I didn't know what the hell was going on because I could not see.
That
there's
and
a
anything
giant
with
bamboo cage for Christ's
Yeah.
sake.
that and anything
The
that had
Punjabi
Ryback
prison
in it
match.
was just like immediately shut off for me.
You mean Polish Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this show's definitely just it's slapped together. And then you know what? What else I was thinking about too is like I kind of don't feel as attached. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but then you don't feel the attachment to any of these wrestlers because they all take off for like 3, 4, 5 months at a time. Then they were like Brock Lesnar. He's a part timer. Roman Reigns is a part timer. CM Punk will go off for injury. Seth Rollins just came back. AJ Lee's a part timer. It's like, brother, we're putting all these part timers. They come back. Sami Zayn was gone. He was making just backstage vignettes, talking to Cody. You know, now he was supposed to be beefing with Cody Rhodes. All of a sudden, he's the United States champion. There's too many part timers at this point. And I don't know, you know, how that goes back to the old way. Because I think part of it is you don't feel the connection to the wrestlers, and I was gonna say that too about the two night versus one night. Like there was always like one ultimate megastar in WWE: John Cena, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock. Like those were the draws, and you felt connected to the draws, and then the card filled out itself. Right now, yes, is Roman Reigns like the biggest draw? CM Punk, sure. But you don't feel connected to those guys like that because they're never on TV. So then it's like now you're not connected to your main draws. And then what are you supposed to do? Then you put your two biggest draws together, and it's like, nobody cares. Nobody.
In
Really
addition
cares.
to what he's saying, first off, shout out to War Turtle behind you, War Turtle. The thing with like the biggest thing about matches leading up for WrestleMania in my lifetime is that it's all about the build-up, right? You have to have some kind of storyline because you can't just have two guys go into a match and be like, okay, well, you're gonna do a DDT and then you're gonna do a leg drop and then this. You know,
Tony Khan disagrees.
I don't give a fuck about Tony Khan.
We're not FTC regulated. You can say what the fuck you want.
Fuck Tony Khan. Sorry, Joseph. I
Wow.
don't see a lot of. He's funny. I don't see a lot of storyline build up other than Punk, Roman, Randy, and Cody. Like, I'm not saying you need it in every match. Okay, you're gonna have those matches where it's a squash, fatal 4-way match that gets thrown in 2 weeks before, like we probably just did with the women's titles match. Although in that, I kind of think you've seen that building up, and I think they've played that out right. That nobody has clearly won a match in that, which is kind of good. I don't know why the Bella Twins are involved, but the other tag teams I feel like do deserve to be there. But I just wish they would do more, like, invest us into why you want us as fans to see this. If this is the grandest stage of them all, why do we have a guy with a history of Randy Orton who obviously is not sane enough to go against Cody in any way, and Cody's trying to be the Superman, the new John Cena of WWE and whatnot? Tell us the back history. I'm not saying bring back, what's his name?
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, but tie that in. Like, bring back the legacy Randy, bring back the evolution Randy, and all, and when he was with, like, they need to do more storytelling, basically. And WrestleMania has always had that, and they're not doing it this year.
And I think that's why, like, that stupid Punk, I'm gonna bury you next year, Dad thing, it felt really forced, because you could tell they were probably in the writers' room. They were saying the same thing you're saying. There's not enough build up for this. We gotta manufacture something, but it just felt manufactured.
Stale.
Yeah. Like it felt overly forced. I remember that when I saw it. I'm a big, like, once again, I feel like Christian Cage did the dead dad thing the best when he was doing that.
He's going after, not to bring up AEW, but he's going after a lot of people's dads in AEW. I'm just saying.
And it became a shtick, and it worked. Right, it worked for a while. Like, if you can make it seem authentic, it works. But it definitely felt like the writers they were all sitting around a room and they went, "Man, we gotta add some edge to this," and it just didn't work. And when I saw it live, my wife actually looked over me because she wasn't paying attention. She hates wrestling, but my reaction was like, "Ooh," it didn't feel. It felt very forced. And I feel that way about a lot of the. I mean, the match I'm most excited about is the Lesnar Femi match. Like, it's not even a match that, like, it's not even a title match. But when, like, once again, you talk about the builds in the middle of last month, when he pop-up power bombs Lesnar, that was like an oh crap moment. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, so once again, like, none of these other matches I feel like have anything similar to that where you were like, oh snap, this is going to be awesome.
If there's a moment, like a shock moment of 2026 so far, that's it. That pump-up power bomb on Lesnar is definitely it. I mean,
and kudos to Lesnar for taking that, right? Like, and taking the hit and
I don't know if you caught, a little bit. Not to cut you off, Joe, but when he stepped on his chest, and Lesnar was basically, they were saying he was yelling at Obafemi, but he was actually telling him,
stand on the chest.
You're on this. Like, step on my chest, which was I mean, that's that, and he got that advice actually from the Undertaker. He said it in an interview.
Yeah,
like, that's how, like, everything changed down with the whole storytelling. But
none of these other matches have any sort of lead up or moment similar to that, and that's a shame, because, like, why am I most excited about a match where there's actually no real title on the line? It's just the two biggest, baddest guys in. Now, once again, things have to set up a certain way, but you imagine if that was like a title match. I'm not saying it should have been, but I'm saying, like, could you imagine if that was ever a title match, how much even bigger that would be? Like I said, the last 2 weeks I've watched, I felt like it's been very sort of uninspired, and injuries happen. Like, I'm sure they had some things planned, and they had to throw them out the window, but the writing could definitely be better, and the setups could definitely have been better. Like,
losing Braun and Bronson Reed hurts big time.
And I said, my big thing is, like, I never think that I know more than, like, people who are doing this for a long time. But if I can think of a better plot line in about 10 minutes watching this on TV, then there's no reason the writing team of WWE couldn't have gone, yeah, we could do that, right? Like, and once again, there's personalities that play drama. Like, to me, I don't really care. I just want the best storylines. And is now what makes WWE better than, like, most other sports entities is, like, there's one guy who makes a decision, and I feel like there's been a little bit too much of a democratization in how these things have gone too. We saw it with the whole stupid Rock Cena thing last year. Not to rehash that, but like it's like there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen giving their opinions, and I kind of wish Triple H would just assert some authority and be like, "I'm the new Vince, and we're gonna this is my opinion, and we're gonna roll with this." Like sometimes I think that needs to happen because I think sometimes the reason why it is the way it is because there's a lot of voices in the room with different ideas of who should be the big match, and sometimes I think they honestly try to do too much, and that hurts too.
I think that goes back to my discussion from 2 weeks ago of perception versus reality versus perception, where we come up with this wonderful idea that we think is great because it was our idea.
Such a good topic.
Of course, we like it, and then they come out with their idea, which was their idea the whole time, and we don't like it because it wasn't our idea. We think it sucks. It wasn't our idea, no matter how good it was. But then we read into it to figure what they're trying to do next, which they have no intention of doing. But that's pro wrestling and social media in a nutshell. So 2 quick things: the Rangers snapped a 3-game winning streak with a loss today. So just in honor of my friend Lou, I just posted this to Blue Truth.
Oh my God, that picture! Oh,
awesome. We'll see if he actually gets that reference. However, as we're having this conversation, I swear to you, I feel like I'm having deja vu. I feel like we could have had this same conversation 10 years ago, where they are having trouble creating new stars. And let's be honest, if not for Tony Khan, who the hell is in the main event of this event? Right? Because if not for Cody and Punk, what are we doing? So the credit I will give him is he got these guys and whatever. And look, it all worked. Do your thing. Nobody cares. But we said, I felt, and I think we must.
Well, hold on. Do you give Tony Khan the credit, or do you give Triple H for pulling them guys back to the company? Let's think about that.
Well, okay, but if not, so if not for Tony Khan, we don't see Punk in wrestling again.
Correct.
If not for Tony Khan basically financing Cody's idea, I don't even know where Cody is, right? So again, I will give credit where credit is due, whether he meant to do it or not. What I have said from the jump, and I've always believed
he's still an idiot.
No, he is. But people didn't necessarily want AEW as AEW. What they wanted was competition for WWE to make WWE the best it could possibly be.
And it worked for a while.
It did work.
It worked for a while.
Long time.
But I think maybe what's happening is they're realizing that's not really that much competition. We don't have to work as hard as we think we need to because it's not really we are in completely different businesses, so it really doesn't matter. But again, think back. We said a couple weeks ago, their main eventers, you can count on one hand. It was Punk, Cody, Brock, Seth, and Roman. Randy was like, sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't, but he's just kind of there. But that's their main event for
Randy's there. Randy's only there if he gets to the next title run.
Sure.
So,
but you think back to Mania 32. I mean, the main event was Roman Reigns and Triple H. Triple H had to go back into that to kind of get that over, right? Taker had Shane McMahon in a match. It was Brock and Dean Ambrose in this just, beat up match.
Whatever
Jericho
match.
And Styles, like. They're what's old is new again in that they really are still having trouble creating stars, right? Like they get them to a certain level, but and I don't know if it's because they just don't trust them with that spotlight. Like in a business where you have to sell tickets, that's why John's even the host of WrestleMania now. Like all of that, like they don't want to necessarily let them run with it. Maybe not at this juncture, but they're going to listen. They're going to have Brock forever. I'm not going to have Punk forever. Cody's already talking about this is my last contract. So I wonder if
retirement rows right around the corner.
They're all getting older, right? Again, where AEW fans are correct, the majority of the upper end of WWE is upper age, right?
Yeah.
But they're also characters that have been built forever. There is a reason they are at that level. So maybe that's kind of why you're seeing this push for Oba and this push for Trick and to try to create that next level before this level's not there anymore. And that I just feel like we said all of this 10 years ago. And in a roundabout way, it hasn't really changed that much.
And the thing too is and I look at this Brock coming back is awesome. Like if I was at an event where Brock, when Brock comes back, great, it's awesome. He's gonna get a pop.
Great.
But isn't that but when Brock comes back and he gets the pop that he gets, isn't that kind of an indictment that currently nothing you're offering is the fans have no perspective. It's like, oh wow, Rock's now the biggest thing back, and so it's almost like an indictment on the rest of the roster. It's like,
Yeah.
Like, to be honest with you, like, I didn't think about Brock all that much, right? But now that he's back, I'm a big fan of Brock, right? But that, to me, that's an indictment on the rest of the roster. There's like nobody really good enough to sort of like fill the gaps. And also, like you said, Brian, like it's like it's all old people. Like all of these people have been wrestling since I was in like middle school.
Like,
but then
Punk's
again,
been
too,
around
forever.
He has, but then again, too, like WWE for whatever reason, like we know that LA Knight is old, but like he had a chance to enter that upper echelon if you had just given him the briefcase. If you had just let him win, but you keep squashing these people. Like anybody who's even coming up, you squash.
That's a nice hoodie, sir.
It's a story, nice story. Just wait for it. Let him cook. I'm still waiting for Triple H to cook on LA Knight, like he said in that one press conference. Like, brother, you have the opportunity to push these people, but then again, you have your part-timers that are megastars that are getting paid millions, because none of us have mentioned the TKO aspect yet. TKO has the voice in the kitchen, and they want who they want. So, maybe it's not so much that Triple H can assert himself or that he won't. It's just maybe that he can't, because now it's TKO as the ownership group as opposed to just the sole entity. So it's like now that we see and I was going to make this point, it's coincidental enough that we're talking about the show being just slapped together, and the one match that we all mentioned we're looking forward to was the one that was slapped together. Because remember, Seth hit Paulie called out Brock to hit Seth, and out of nowhere, for no reason under the sun, Obafemi comes out to hit Brock Lesnar. Like, where did this even come from? But now it's like, we want to see that match. You know what I mean? Because we have an opportunity. But now that WWE really has an opportunity, because we all know what Brock is famous for. You put him in with the black guy, he squashes the black guy. That's what Brock is famous for doing. We're not gonna beat around the bush on that one. So now we have the report that Brock don't want to lose till he retires, and you're putting him in against Obafemi, who is on the rise, people who WWE don't want to rise yet. So now there's like this big, and I think part of we all understand that, just nobody has said it yet. So that's probably part of why that match is intriguing too.
I'm gonna play. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, my thing about LA Knight, I'm glad you mentioned that. I feel so sorry for him because he still gets pops. Yeah. Like I was watching last week. He did and the crowd just does it. They know it's coming. They time it perfect every time. He brings a ton of energy. Like it's one of those things. And to me, it's very similar to like when like they had Rusev lose a Cena 3 times in a row, and it was like, why? What's the point? Why did you build up Rusev Day? It was a fan favorite. It's still one of my favorite segments I've seen live, and you just can't have him beat Cena one time. Like it's just I don't understand why some people get pushes. And if to be honest with you, if I'm a wrestler, it bugs me because like I can go out and I can get the pops, I can sell t-shirts and get the crowd. What else do I have to do? Like I'm doing everything the company's asking me to do, and I'm not getting the opportunities. Like maybe that's one of the reasons why people like some of these wrestlers they don't give a shit a lot of times because like, well, like people like LA Knight are going out there and they're getting the pops consistently every night. Even with him not getting the opportunities, the crowd still likes it. Maybe they like him even more because he hasn't gotten the opportunities and they're trying to push him. There's a lot of that happens too. But part of me just wonders like why? Like what if I'm on the roster, why would I work super hard? Why don't I just go out there, try to stay healthy, get paid? Because I could fill the seats. I could bring the energy and I'm not going to get my opportunity because some part-timers are going to get my spot.
Maybe I'm going to play a little bit time traveler / devil's advocate in a way here. Could you, any of you three, name me 5 potential Impact players, men and women's division, in 5 years from now that could main event WrestleMania? Let's go 3 years. Could you, right now?
I mean, I think that Oba's going to skyrocket despite anything they do. Right? Like that. There's just something about that guy, right? And then look, I think the march is stupid. My son does it. Like,
I love it actually.
I'm like, what are we doing here, right? Like this guy. You know what? Like remember
the African Bill Goldberg, Brian.
That's that's 1,000,000% correct. Yes, but remember like when Bobby Roode was the man, and he was like a mixture of like Ted DiBiase and like Ric Flair, and like I think it was something like I think he was saying something nice. Somebody, I mean, this guy should be telling me I was going to bang my wife or something. Like that's exactly how much he's going to pay me. Like that's what the shtick is, right? Like that's what he's supposed to be trying to do.
That'd be rude. Now he's on Gorilla.
Right. I think Dom can. I think once Dom finally face turns, like that could really do well. I think Tiffany Stratton's kind of taking the back seat right now, but that's temporary.
I think they've ruined her. I didn't want to get into that, but I think they ruined her. But
well, I'm going to get back to that. So I think they rushed her, and then it kind of got back, and now the character is kind of weird. Like I think it's in a little bit of no man's land. They got to figure that she's better as a heel, but she's hot, so she can't be. You can't hate somebody that you want to bang. Like just it doesn't work like that. Well, women can't. I don't know.
They got Stephanie back here, so she's one.
Gunther's going to be there. I mean, whether they you can see where they're pressing their chips.
All right, so you got
by default
Oba.
Gunther.
We all agree on Oba, number 1, right?
Yeah.
Gunther.
Yeah.
Do we put Braun Breaker at 3?
Braun Breaker, yeah.
If he's healthy.
If he's healthy, I could see it.
Man, I got to tell you, they got to rehab him a bit.
Okay. Dom.
Like I think if all he is what he is now, no.
Okay. So Braun.
There's this much Reigns push to him, right? Like we want you to really look at this guy, with spear, the whole too many similarities. And we said forever that like our biggest problem with Reigns was there was never any character progression.
Yeah,
the same guy, right?
Yeah,
there is a little bit of that to Braun, and I think Braun needs to, but not his fault. He's hurt, so we're gonna forget some of this. So we'll see how they package him when he comes back.
Dom, yes,
Dom. I think
Dom, Dominic Mysterio, yes. Okay, so who's 5? Is it Trick? Is it Carmelo? Is it somebody down in NXT we don't know yet?
It's not Carmelo.
Joe Hendry.
He's too undersized.
Joe Hendry? No, it's not Joe Hendry.
I'm just talking on my ass.
I love Joe Hendry, but no, it's not him.
I'm having a hard time thinking of one.
So, okay, who's your women?
Fatu?
Yeah, I guess you could do. Well, it depends on, again, like, are we doing Fatu as...
Oh, you know what? I gotta go look now.
See, so Fatu's not Roman, and Fatu is not...
He's only 33. He is a baby in this business.
Jacob Fatu is 33?
Jacob Fatu is 33.
And there's always a spot for somebody who looks scary. There's always a spot for that guy. Like, you can be not super great on the mic. You can get the person. Like, if you look scary and you're big, there's always a spot for you.
Well, spoiler alert, there's a big scary guy coming back that's the black sheep of the Wyatt family. I hate to break it to you. So, his name's Braun Strowman.
He's coming back?
Yes.
Really?
Read that last week, yeah.
How about that?
The way I heard the way that was left was he can come and go as he pleases kind of thing. Like
he's done with the show on USA, and he's been dying to get back into wrestling, and apparently he's been in talks with Triple H and TKO.
How about that?
He's always had a return card. It's been on his terms. So
interesting.
I think generally.
I think that fits though against the whole FTs, whatever the frig they're called. It's just
that is really stupid too, because they're not related.
Exactly.
to kind of your point, Bri, like I just think that like even with the corporate overlord type thing, like where you got to hit these numbers now, like that's the one thing. If you want to say, I remember when it was just when Vince owned 80% of the company, like if something didn't draw, okay, well Vince didn't make that much money that month, right? Like it's not.
Yeah.
It is entire again corporate America. It's an entirely different world.
America.
Right, like now you have to work as a fiduciary standard to your shareholders. Like, oh, you're not doing this correctly, and they do expand their roster. But now, are you making the money you were making? Because does that, where's your P&L? Like, it's different. It just is different, and unless you go from there, you don't really grasp that. So I think that there's not a lot of appetite necessarily to take chances with big events.
Yeah,
sure. But Mania, I think probably if anything, Mania would be the one that is immune to something like that because it is WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like it's just. Yeah,
but Lou, but
this Lou, Mania is just not hitting the way it should, man.
To that point, you're bringing John Cena back to host because you're not selling tickets.
Mm-hmm.
To AJ Styles' point from a couple weeks ago,
and does he get involved?
I disagree with that personally, but I understand what he is saying because
I don't want to spoil that either. But I was going to say, is Cena something else, a card in Mania?
Nope.
But
Nope.
No, you don't think so?
I don't. I will tell you this.
You don't think he's the phone call?
If they were going to play that card, Bri, they would not be doing it 3 months.
Please tell me you don't think it's just Randy's voices inside his head. I hope it's.
We'll get.
That would be stupid.
Yes, no, we're going to get to that.
It better be somebody.
No, we're totally getting to that.
Okay, sorry,
No.
I don't want to jump.
But again, and I think the card's not done. I think there's probably see 2 more matches, but they're not. There's nothing really major.
So what are they at now, match total wise for night?
You want me to show you the card?
Yes, please, if you don't mind pulling that up. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
Trying to make it so you can actually see it.
Because I didn't know which matches were official and what's not.
So they don't have nights yet, but you can make your assertion.
Oh, so Dom versus Finn is official?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm good with that.
Penta,
I have no problem.
Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, really?
That's your filler match.
That's a bathroom break match right there. I hate to say it.
Well, that's a ladder match though.
I don't. Okay, so
is it?
Yeah, but okay, so that's a.
Is it a ladder match?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Penta retains, but Javon's the star.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you something?
Yes. If I say no, will you ask me? Actually, you just did ask me something. So
if you substitute JD McDonough out of that, because he makes no sense to me, or Rusev, either one of them in the Intercontinental division, and you put Ray Phoenix in there, doesn't that make it a little bit better?
I think they're trying to keep Penta and Phoenix apart.
I'm just saying.
Those guys, that match was just announced. Like, hey, this is the match now.
You know what's hysterical about that, Luke?
We're on like main event or something.
They announced that match, and then on the WWE Twitter is like, oh, look who's going to qualify for it.
There was no qualification matches.
No, there were. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Where the hell were they at?
Exactly.
Some channel you never heard of.
Yeah, it's called house shows.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a WrestleMania card at all.
Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams.
No, so I feel as though
I kind of saw that coming, but
we'll get into predictions and stuff in 2 weeks from today. But like you have solid main events with story. I'm good, right? You have the Oba Brock match, which by the way, I don't know where you.
That's the highlight.
See, but
that probably opens one of the nights.
I would think it opens night 1 actually.
I can't see that being night 2 at all because you have to.
No, I don't think it is
on night 2's main event. I think that opens because here's another thing too. If you have it as the last match, then no one's really invested in the next night's match.
No, it can't be.
Right?
No. It's got no. They're going to end with their title matches.
Yeah.
No,
I'm saying though, if that was because they've done a title match first before. They have.
Right.
What
and
I'm
who
saying
did it involve?
If,
Brock Lesnar. You got to get
and
Brock out of there.
Again, we're jumping the gun a little bit, but if you put Brock Oba as night 1 finish, that's huge.
I think it's night 1 open. I think it's night 1 open. I don't think you. I don't. Okay, if we know Punk and Reigns is end of night 2, you cannot.
We gotta stay away from Vegas after this year. That's all I'm saying. Vegas is just bad juju.
Yeah,
Joe, do you not agree that Vegas has just been?
They won't go back there for a while after this.
Joe,
what'd you say? Sorry.
Has the last 2 years of WrestleManias at Vegas have they just been kind of meh to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's cursed.
No, but last year.
Bring back Caesar's Palace outdoors.
No, last year felt that way because of Travis Scott in the match. Like if that match was different, you feel totally differently about last year. And I watched last year from an iPad in a hotel in Fort Lauderdale because I was going on a Disney cruise the next day, right? So I didn't really get the whole feel of it last year.
Brian, I don't have to tell you how I feel about these stupid celebrities involved, and I know it's a money drawer. Yeah. But if I see IShowSpeed in another event, I'm turning off.
The story
Netflix.
is you're getting the Vision and Speed against. I think it's the Usos and LA Knight.
And LA Knight, yep.
And that's LA Knight's match. Like, really?
Does Danhausen get a bigger pop than some of these?
Oh, for
matches?
Sure.
If he keeps cursing people the way he does, absolutely.
Honestly, listen, you know what I need? I need Danhausen to go up to some random guy at a roulette table and say, "You are cursed," and this guy just lose 10 spins in a row.
10,000 right off the bat. Boom.
Awesome.
He's done. He's bankrupt.
Craps table, snake eyes, whatever. Like
then Danhausen's the real deal. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Could you
Yeah, no,
imagine you have Danhausen
there's-
at like Caesar's Palace or something? and he's just
Here's-
like,
That'd be hilarious.
Like there's no buzz for Jade and Rhea. There's no buzz for AJ and Becky.
I feel bad
There's
for Rhea.
no buzz for Sammy and Trick. Like, I
None.
get it, but like you have not done enough to make me give a shit.
No.
No.
No,
Becky
not
Lynch
at all.
is. It's just tired to me. The whole Becky Lynch act is tired. I feel like I've been seeing the same Becky Lynch for like 5 straight years now. And I used to love Becky. Like, I love the whole man shtick.
I think it's time to start the Becky Lynch retirement tour. I'm just saying. I'm on that bandwagon.
I'm just done. I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm
done.
done
I
with
wish
her
I
too.
could be invested.
I love
in
Becky
anything that
Lynch,
she-
but
Yeah. I'm the
There's a
biggest
little
Jade Cargill
cottage in
fan there is. I'm the
Joe, there's a
biggest.
little
You
cottage
are
in
the
her
biggest
Cargill.
Jade Cargill fan there is.
You know it, Joe. I was the only one in our section every time rooting for
Joe, there's a
Jade
little
Cargill.
cottage with
And I have
the
no
Rollins
rooting
family's
interest
name
in
on
her
it in
match.
Ireland
None.
waiting for him. So
Yeah, I'm done. Now I love any match that Liv Morgan is in. So I'm always excited for her.
So does T.
for her matches. But yeah, no, like, and that's the sad thing. Like, I'm actually more excited for like the Cena hosting, the Danhausen antics. Like, that's actually what I'm looking forward to more than some of these. And it's just unfortunate because WrestleMania, we live for this every year. We're so excited, and I'm really going to watch to see the goofy stuff they have Danhausen do in Vegas. I hope they use him.
Maybe there's
like
something
that.
in one of
they
these
will.
matches that we're not expecting happens, and it blows our mind. I hope, but
And Danhausen's been known to like interject himself in some of these, so I'd love to see somebody lose a belt or something because Danhausen's just like in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'd love that.
I just think it's you know what's funny is like when he was in AEW, like that was like they all loved him, and then he left. Oh, he's terrible. Like it's so stupid.
He doesn't wrestle. That's
no.
like the thing that all the AEW fans like. He doesn't wrestle. He's never gonna.
we
wrestle.
should just give
that kind of-
Danhausen the old school hardcore championship. That would be perfect right now. Remember the old winged eagle belt with like the hardcore like deep over it? Oh, just give it to him. Let him have it.
Don, do you have any thoughts on this topic?
Oh, fuck. I gotta walk away. You don't want me talking about this. I'm serious. You might want to mute me. I'm so you have
Mute
no
you?
idea.
Why? This is content.
I was suckered into Jericho coming back at WrestleMania, and this bullshit that they pulled last night. Oh.
Okay, but hold on.
And how stale it was.
But hold on.
Why in the man's hometown?
Wait. Why were you suckered in?
Why was I suckered in?
Yeah.
Because we've been hearing rumors since Royal Rumble that Jericho was coming back.
Some jackass on the internet made a rumor and you believed it?
Who, Meltzer?
No, I'm just kidding. No, it goes back to the PRP thing.
Because I actually listened to Meltzer's podcast today, and that was actually pretty good.
Did you know that Dave
Everybody
Meltzer
knows I hate Brian Meltzer, but
did you know that Dave Meltzer said that WWE had to give away
Meltzer,
tickets to WrestleMania in Cleveland?
He said that? Is that
He
true?
said that they had to give 25,000 tickets away for the Cleveland WrestleMania to fill the building.
He's an
Now,
idiot.
if you can tell me when WrestleMania was in Cleveland, I will give you $1.
Yeah. I think even the Miz and Logan Paul would tell you it's never been there. So,
I think he's a fucking moron.
by the way, they live in.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, they're from Cleveland. So,
Yeah.
So this should put an end, at least in the short term, to conversations around Christian.
I'm gonna need another drink.
Which, again, to be fair, they never said it was going to happen. Somebody says it does. We think it's a great idea, and then it doesn't happen, and we're mad about it. And that's.
Can I say it? Can I quote you? Can I quote the
1,000%.
man?
Yeah.
Perception versus
Reality versus perception.
I'm done.
Yeah. I think Jericho, I love Chris Jericho. I mean, he's like the last man standing from, well, there's a few of them, but he's one of the last ones standing. And it's like, I think his time, if I think I read from Dave Meltzer or something, there was a report that if he had come to WWE, they wanted it to be like a retirement tour, but he may not have been ready for the retirement tour, which is why he didn't come back to WWE. So, like, I don't know if you can blame anybody but Chris Jericho for this,
Okay, fine. But let's say he comes back at WrestleMania, okay? And you give him 2 years, right?
I think they want to give him 3 months.
You give him 3 months?
I think they want to give him 3 months.
That's
I think to Lou's point, come back, lose to Gunther, Hall of Fame, bye.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You bring Jericho back to get him into the Hall of Fame because I think not having him in Hall of Fame hurts WWE. It really
It'll
does.
happen eventually.
He said he doesn't care though. He said he doesn't really care about that right now.
He has said that.
Yeah, and then CM Punk didn't care about main event WrestleMania either until he got it, and then he did.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
like that. I didn't like her anyway.
I
My
think
ex-girlfriend. I didn't hate her anyway.
I think what blows my mind is just from like a
Grab me the other
respect
one.
standpoint
Please.
that crowd didn't seem to respect him in his hometown. And I don't know if that, I don't know how much overlap there is between, because I don't have any friends that watch AEW, but I don't know what the overlap is between like AEW people and WWE people. And so if he went in there and it was like a very AEW crowd that disrespected him, like that's super unfortunate. Because regardless of how you feel about him in general, if he's tired or whatever, he's coming back to his hometown. You would have.
That should have
It's
been
like
a pop.
Paul. Think about whenever we've gone to Philly, Lou, and Paul Heyman's come out.
ECW,
Huge pop.
He got a bigger pop when I was in Extreme
Huge
Rules
pop.
a few years ago than like Brock did, or any of the he got a huge pop.
Yeah.
Like if Philly is doing that for a handler, then there's no reason why that crowd, just from a respect standpoint, shouldn't have given him respect. Like I said, I don't know if that is an AEW fan issue of they're just dumb and they don't respect real talent.
They're absolutely retarded, number one, but yeah.
Well, I'm telling you,
You have no
smelliest venue I've ever been in last I went to AEW show. Like worst body odor I've ever smelled in my life. Almost no women. Like just horrible, absolutely horrible. Not to paint with a broad brush, but it was just like it was a horrible night. But it's
when
just,
I heard,
to me, it's just
Joe,
disrespectful.
Thank you, Joseph. Joe, when I heard that Jericho came back last night, can you grab me the other one that's in there? Leave that down here, in the fridge. Sorry. Whatever, bud. Thank you. I watched 3 videos on YouTube. One was AEW's where it didn't even show him coming out, and he was in the ring, and he was just like, back, you know, like, and I was like, what is this? Then I watched a video with Meltzer talking, and I'm like, I'm 5 minutes in, I'm done. I'm like, I can't stand this guy. Number one, he needs way more Botox than we need to talk about. The third video was an actual fan, second level, filming it, and you could hear the Judas and the Jericho purple thing, whatever. When I tell you, I've heard more, and this is going to be a local reference, more cheering at a Camden River Sharks minor league baseball game than at an AEW event. Let me repeat that. I've heard more cheering, and they're not even a franchise anymore, at a Camden River Sharks, New Jersey, baseball game than at Winnipeg Stadium, where the Jets play.
And then
What
he
does
was
that
like,
tell
"I'm
you?
home." He was like, "I'm home." Well,
You know,
I'm home, and it was just not.
It
You know what
hurts
the
me to see
you know what
that.
the AEW crowd says to that, Bri? There's more wrestling at a River Sharks game than you are.
Well, AEW
But
is
like,
the same
honestly,
crowd
like if
that
you're
booed.
Jericho, right, and you
They're
come
the same
out
crowd
and you
that
don't hear
booed.
any pop for you, what do you
AEW
think?
is the same crew that booed Cody Rhodes, got him out of there, and within 5 years was a headliner of WrestleMania. They booed CM Punk for no reason, and had it not been for injury, he already would have been a WrestleMania main eventer within 5 years of his return.
Lou,
You know
do you
what I
remember
mean?
when do you remember when we went in Newark and they were booing Tony Khan? They were doing Tony Khan sucks chants before the show.
Yes.
And then
Thank
Tony
God.
Khan came out and they were cheering for Tony Khan. We were
Yes,
like,
I do.
what? And Tony Khan's like, I love Newark. This is the greatest town ever. It was like it was just so bad. And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, what is like?
Yeah.
It's just a weird vibe, man. It's just a weird.
vibe. I remember
weird-
I had on that
we-
weird
Right.
shirt from AEW.
Right.
I was wearing it, and I
See.
really felt like I was an outcast because I'm like, they hate CM Punk, but you
They're
see
booing
him
Punk.
and they're booing Punk, and it's like, yeah, it's weird. And then again, he leaves within 5 years. He's headlining WrestleMania, so it's an AEW thing with Chris Jericho
Tony Khan
for
is a
sure.
liar. Nobody likes Newark, New Jersey. Okay.
Do you know what I say to those fans in Newark that night? Where are your balls?
We thought the same. We
You were
thought
just
the
booing
same
Tony
thing.
Khan, and then now you're going to cheer for him. Like, who are you? Are you a
the
Devils
way-
fan?
By the way, Newark does stink. I don't know if you remember. We were at the one show where Elias came out, and he was like, "When I arrived at this dump in Newark, New Jersey," and the crowd was like, "Yeah, like we don't
right.
visit. You want us to boo you? Like I don't know." And then he was like, "I was hanging out with Bruce Springsteen," and then they started booing. because you don't mess with the boss. But when he was like, "This dump Newark," and we were like, "Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're
okay."
right.
And what's crazy is because they've had Raws after WrestleMania in North Jersey,
Yeah,
and they've had huge pops.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Philly
Like,
and Newark
Newark's not
crowds
a
are
bad-
awesome.
Newark's Prudential Center is not a bad venue at
No,
all.
it's not.
By
Where
any
was
means.
Raw after 35? Was it there?
Yes, yeah, because that was New York, New Jersey, right?
30. Yeah.
Good question.
I'm trying to remember
That
where
was
it
Giant
was.
Stadium, right?
No, I went to that. I didn't go to Raw the next day. I'm trying to see where it was.
Prudential Center, maybe?
Prudential. It had to be.
No.
Wasn't
It's
the
either that
Garden?
or
Probably
Barclays.
it was a Barclays.
Was it Barclays?
Looks like it. So
Sounds
the filming
right.
location was New York.
Another dump.
Yeah.
Well, not everything is the Garden, as Joe can attest.
Well, if you're rooting for
Also, the home of all the Barclay. Brooklyn was also the home of the awful Monday Night Raw 25th anniversary.
Oh, God.
Terrible.
Horrific show that was to
I
watch.
will say, I told this to Brian the other night. I don't know if you know this, Lou, but James Minnock and I have a cameo at the end of the McMahon documentary. You can
Really?
see us.
Really?
You can see us at Raw 25.
Ooh,
Really?
Behind
I need
him.
to see
The
this.
last 3 minutes of the documentary. You can see
Hey,
you have to
James'
watch
bald head and barely the
see
top
that.
of my head. But you
I
can go
gotta
back
see
and look.
that.
But yeah, no. Barclays has been home of other horrible
right.
events as well.
I have a trivia question for you. This is this very simple trivia question. I want you to name a wrestler from 1990 to 1996 that's not in the Hall of Fame.
look at the comment after it. That's great.
I love it. What are the years? What is the bracket?
It doesn't even
90 to
it doesn't
96.
fucking matter, Lou. But the point I'm trying to make to you is like every single motherfucker is in the like. If you wrestled for 3 months, here is your Hall of Fame ring.
How dare you disrespect Flash Funk like that, dude? How dare you disrespect Flash
Hold
Funk
Listen,
by implying that he should not be in the Hall of Fame, dude?
I had a
Stephanie-
Flash Funk
Stephanie
Jack Pacific
McMahon-
action figure, and it was
Stephanie
my God.
McMahon, fine. AJ Styles, little too soon, fine. Demolition, you know. I mean, Demolition should be with Crush, which
Watch
is
what
not.
you say about Sid Vicious.
Dennis Rodman's, whatever.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Sid. Now, with all due respect to Bad News Brown, why the hell is Bad News Brown in the Hall of Fame? And I have nothing against Bad News Brown. Bad News Brown did not. Why?
I don't know. Good question.
We're just literally giving Hall of Fames out like they're hot dogs after a Phillies game.
Dude, Bad News
You're just
Brown
putting anybody
was
in there.
WWE for 2 years, 3 years. And probably his highest honor was having Roddy Piper come out and have black skin at WrestleMania 6, which we can't watch
Epic.
anymore. by the way.
Epic moment, by the way.
I
I
just
forgot
feel-
about that.
Listen, I'll put it to you this way, right? I feel as though like again, and it's not fair to him, and I want to preface it with that. Like that's not why. I feel as though they were trying to hit a demographic. You know, and it's not
Sure.
fair to him. I think if you're on your I've never believed in that. I believe in meritocracy. So if you're in on your own volition, fantastic, right? I just if I were you know what? Can I just who is in the Hall of Fame?
You know when
By
it
the way-
started to get overdone when they started
Hold on, though.
inducting characters. When Razor
But now
Ramon
they're
went
doing
in and not
matches.
Scott Hall, I was like, brother, what are we doing here?
No, but now
Yes, I
they're
agree.
doing
Yeah, Scott Hall had to
matches.
go in. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Let's just play a game here. Michelle McCool is in the Hall of Fame.
She got the rub.
I
You know
think
why?
her,
You know
no.
why?
I think her getting the rub is why she's in the Hall of Fame.
I think because of her husband. That's why she's in the
Ayo.
Hall of Fame. Do we not but Demolition had a third member, and I know he's
Crush.
dead.
Axe
We not,
Smash
like,
and
give
Crush.
him
no,
a
Axe,
little-
yeah, Crush, yeah.
Okay.
And like, listen,
Crush was a cool character.
Stacy Keibler's hot. Stacy Keibler in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, she was on Dancing with the Stars for fuck's sake. Like, come on now.
Queen Charmel.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on the Booker T shit, please. Between Jericho,
Molly Holly. The Great Khali.
Stop. Just stop.
JBL
Wait, hold on. The Great Khali's in the Hall of Fame?
as of 2021. I'm reading
JBL
off
is
the list.
JBL's a Hall of Famer.
No,
You saying
JBL
no to
deserves
JBL?
it.
What?
I could put JBL
Yeah.
in.
Listen, not the worst name I've read. All right, I'm just putting that out there.
No, not at all. But
Brian,
Hall of Famer.
during the shitty 2000s, because I was not invested, because you had guys like fucking whatever his name, Montel Jordan, or whatever the hell his name is, Orlando Jordan in wrestling for some odd reason.
This is how
When
we do it.
he looked like a goddamn like glow model. JBL had great feuds with Batista, Rey Mysterio, John Cena. He held it down. So I will give him his.
Brutus
I like
Beefcake.
JBL.
I don't know. I think Sunny deserves some respect. She belongs in,
Oh
in the
my
hall.
god. She deserves a jail cell by herself.
Why? Okay.
Not just for wrestling, but her role in business outside of wrestling.
Many sunny days ahead of us.
Cloudy. Have you seen her lately? Very cloudy.
Not good.
Not if you ask Bret Hart.
Oops.
Where have you been?
Hold on. Rikishi, Hall of Fame?
No, not
Rikishi
Rikishi.
fought too? Well, he was a head shrinker, and then he became Rikishi. Then he had
Yeah.
that too cool shtick. So I don't know.
Yeah, yes. Look, the Hall of Fame is like employment verification anymore. That's all it is. Like, yes, you worked here for a period of time, so here.
I feel it's like an island of re-elevating some people. Relevancy all over again. Thanks, bud.
The bottom line is that they went too crazy putting in all their legends at the same time. And then now, if you're gonna do a Hall of Fame, you're still waiting for the ruthless aggression era guys. You know, like now you're on the waiting terms to get the new legends that are coming up. You have to fill it with somebody.
I really like Ted DiBiase.
$1 Million Man?
The $1 Million Man?
Hall of Famer?
Okay.
I don't know. I had those like wrestling buddies. Those the big pillows. They only came out like 6 of them, and they only came out like 6 of them, and he was one of them. In an era with like Hogan, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior. So I don't know. Kind of a big deal.
Well, you need heels.
He was probably the biggest heel of his time, though.
He was the biggest heel of the 90s.
He was the foil to the
early
Hulkster
90s. He was
for a long time.
Okay.
Come on.
2009. Hold on. 2009 inductee. Coco Beware.
No.
Yeah, Coco didn't belong there.
What did he do?
Not at all.
I'll show you
Came
what
out
he
with
did.
the parrot.
I'm going to show you what he did right now. Ready? You ready for this? This is your best Coco Beware.
Yeah.
That's it. With a fucking parrot. I hate parrots.
He tag teamed with Owen Hart, man. He won the tag team title with Owen Hart. What are we talking about? Nah, Coco didn't belong in there. It's too bloated for sure. And it's too.
If this is a Hall of Fame thing, I'm going to use my pee break now because this is like basically watching Hardcore Holly versus Spike Dudley. So
I feel as though if you look at a WrestleMania card, you could throw a dart and you're probably going to hit 2 Hall of Famers at the same time.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
it's. I'm not trying to take shots. It's really not my intention whatsoever. But like everybody's in.
Everybody's in. Yeah. They went too crazy. They put.
Dan is correct. There's a formula to it. Yes, I understand.
There's 254 members.
Wow.
Of the WW. I just looked that up.
Yeah, that's too many.
That is way too many.
Well, okay, but it is. To be fair, though, you're probably including WCW, you're including ECW, you're including the things that they have purchased, and I understand that. It's still overkill.
It's yeah.
When you're putting in 6 or 7 people a year,
correct.
It feels like it's way too many.
Correct.
There are some years where like, and it'd be one thing if like you thought that inducting that many people was going to sell tickets, but I don't think that it necessarily plays a big role in. I mean, they do have the Hall of Fame night. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe they think that the more people they put in, the more they're going to come. But when you're putting in 6, 7 people a year, you're eventually going to like water down.
Run out of people. Yeah.
I know who Barry Windham was. I know who Mike Rotunda was. I had no idea they were in a tag team called the U.S. Express. And how many Expresses did you have? I mean, exactly. Like, you know,
the Midnight Express, Oriental Express. Oh, can't say that one. Yeah, it got too bloated,
Yeah.
man. You like Joe said, you put 6, 7, 8 acts. There was some years like they went way too overboard. Now that like you don't have a specific night, it's after SmackDown because WrestleMania took over the whole weekend. Now they're only putting in like 3 or 4. That's what it should have been the entire time. Because then you don't water down the pool, and then you have WCW guys that probably is. I don't even know. Is Mark Merrow in the Hall of Fame? He was Johnny B Bad. Mark Merrow could have been in the Hall of Fame.
I'm still waiting for Disco Inferno.
Mark,
you have an Extreme Wing?
My absolute 150%
Wright.
favorite Disco Inferno moment was when La Parka came out, hit him with the chair, and then did the disco dance. That is the greatest moment.
Greatest Disco Inferno movie
career,
ever.
bar none.
Yeah, I love that. Cheers.
That was the greatest. That was the greatest.
By the way, when you mentioned 1996, Brian, I went in and I pulled up the WWE roster from 1996.
Oh, thank God.
There are some real winners on here.
Is Duke the Dumpster Drosy still on there?
I
believe he is.
Is he 96?
But they're
so.
Barry Horowitz.
Oh my God.
Flash Funk, fake Razor Ramon.
You got
Harvey Whippleman. I mean, there's some good ones on here. Like
Harvey
Whippleman
was a decent manager.
My favorite though is Goldust was on the roster, but Goldust had a bodyguard, and we never got his name. He was just Goldust's bodyguard. That's how he's listed on the roster.
So, Joe, this was 1996. Was this
1996?
Was this the Bronco match with Roddy Piper versus Goldust at WrestleMania?
The Halloween backball brawl.
It's a good pull by you.
I was invested in that.
Yeah,
good pull by you.
Bushwhacker Butch, Bushwhacker Luke. There's a lot of real characters.
By the way, we have a Cody Rhodes wrestling fan over here listening. So just want to let you guys know. Oh, you're not a Cody fan anymore?
Man, no.
Who do you like now?
Fickle.
A Randy?
He's still active though.
Fickle. Okay.
Hornswoggle? I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Hornswoggle?
I think he should.
Again,
he's a McMahon by all means. Why not? Put him in.
Tonight is not prediction night, but
probably Jimmy.
So here's where I kind of fall in this, right? Who was Randy thinking talking Randy on the phone? So it's going to close night one. As I've been a very, very vocal person with this idea, these are two separate nights. You need something to close out night one. You have the WWE Championship in a main event match with some juice behind it. I'm good with that. If you think back to what has closed night one in the past, last year, Double Shock in the triple threat match. In 40, it was The Rock coming back to the ring for the first time ever. In 39 was that tag match, which was just wild, bloodline, a lot of stuff going on there. 38, Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. 37, I forget, was that Sasha Bianca? Okay.
I think so.
Bianca.
The point I'm trying to make here is I do feel as though the way the event is structured, you almost need that shock event to get you excited for night two.
Sure.
So you can do a million different things with who was on the phone with Randy Orton. What I don't like about it is earlier today, he was on Twitter saying, "Oh, I'm going to see you on Friday." So I think there's a chance they're going to release this tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That
unnecessarily.
You don't need to do that.
But that tells me it's not that big. Because if it was that big, it would happen at WrestleMania. The night of it would be the shock of the night. Now, could they do some misdirection? Absolutely. Could it really not be the person on the phone? Absolutely. Could it be a different person on the phone? Absolutely. It could be 100 different ways. I saw a theory today that he was on the phone with his father, and Randy Orton's so crazy he's going to beat up his dad tomorrow night. That's how crazy he is with the voices. I don't think he's talking to himself. I think that would not be received well.
Yeah, that would be stupid.
That would be received.
If he is just talking to himself on the phone, I swear to God,
there are some
Puppy Bowl again instead of WrestleMania.
But there are some phenomenal ideas of who it could be. And I think, again, perception versus reality, it ain't going to be any of them.
I put it in the chat.
Throw some names out there right now. Let's go.
I put it in the chat, and it would be the most intriguing thing to happen in the previous 25 years and the next 25 years. If you see like the phone rings on the loudspeaker and you see the backstage a limo pulls up like they used to do, and then just a shoe comes out of the limo. Can you imagine if it's Vincent Kennedy McMahon brothers? That would be the most shocking thing to happen in wrestling.
But why? But why would they?
I don't think
that?
TKO wants anything.
They've mentioned him, and WWE doesn't mention people like that blatantly if there's not something to it.
Well, they did. They just mentioned him Monday night.
Joe,
Cody did.
Joe, I don't know if TKO really cares, right? Because UFC has these very controversial figures all the time, and nobody cares. And like, there's people having extremely, political views that people don't agree with. It's not what we're going to talk about tonight.
You're not wrong. I mean, Dana White hit his wife on camera, and nothing happened.
Yeah, that's
like I think that we think they care because of the world that we live in. I think they care about making money.
Dana White's a piece of shit.
What I would say to you,
I hate him. I'm a UFC fan.
I firmly believe to you.
Sorry.
I will say this: conservatively, Vince McMahon would get a bigger pop than Chris Jericho got on.
Without a doubt, good or bad, because you wouldn't be able to hear the cheers from the booth. Like it would just be, it'd be one of those like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here for this
with that power strut walk,
and then the no chance on the speakers again.
Is he gonna have the evil pirate stash still? Like, is he gonna be like whatever that was?
McMahon Hitler.
He looked like a Rocky and Bullwinkle villain. Like, are we gonna come with?
Yo, that's
power
shaved,
stash.
He's shaving it.
Evil.
So again, to me, right? You could do a lot of things with this. This is my perception, which again, it ain't gonna happen, right? You could potentially have that.
Reality. It's not gonna
potentially have that be Triple H, which would introduce that authority character again, right?
Yeah.
You could potentially have that be Ric Flair or Charlotte Flair, although now it's not, because there's that connection to Evolution and everything else. Remember, he said wrestling has more than one royal family. That's what brings the Flairs into this, right? That's what brings the McMahons into this, right?
Yes.
It could be Ted DiBiase Jr., although I would tell you that feels a little far-fetched only because like he just got off recently. So I don't think they think that far ahead. I don't think that they react that quickly.
I don't think he could do that.
I don't think
he wouldn't move the needle either like that.
No. Yeah, he's not going to get a pop like McMahon would or Flair.
It could be The Rock.
Flair would be good.
I don't think it's going to be The Rock, but it could be The Rock. Hold that thought for the next one. There are a lot of people that it could be, and the problem is, invariably, we are going to work ourselves up for some big thing, and I think they're trying to get ahead of that by having it happen on SmackDown tomorrow night. That it's not like, please don't think this is going to happen because you're going to get pissed off about it at us again, like Chris Jericho. So they're trying.
Hold on, not to lead too far into this. Here's how it could be The Rock, because The Rock made the deal with Cena. Cena didn't get the job done last year against Cody. Randy can.
That would be the connection. Yes,
that would be the connection. And I would love to show up. Is The Rock going to show up Randy's arm
drunk every week and force his tequila brand onto the into the conversation somehow?
Let's get that out.
God,
there.
That was absolute.
That was terrible. I don't know if The Rock is a Saturday night closer though.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's.
I don't. Yeah. I think to be honest with you, I think the fan base is like. I think the fan base. If the WWE fans that I talk to as well, I think they feel similar way I do. Is like. They felt like The Rock almost ruined the Cena end a little bit. Like it felt like that whole thing was unnecessary and it felt forced. And when you watch the Unreal thing on WWE, watching them like justify that and make shit up.
Yeah.
After the fact, they were straight up lying to be like, "Oh, this is such an organic idea that we had." Like no one believes that. Like I think
Dude,
I think The Rock is generally viewed.
They cooked that up 3 nights before that pay-per-view. Just so you know,
it was bad. And so I think The Rock is actually like not really that exciting right now because I think fans were like the last time they saw him, it was like this was stupid.
Jumanji 2 is coming out, so go ahead.
I don't. We'll talk about that in a second. I don't think he necessarily fits this, right?
Agreed.
No,
like because of again, but he is a royal face.
Flair would be.
He's the wrestling. That's to me. I would have had it be Flair.
Ric Flair would be the perfect
because of
one.
of the connection with
Dusty.
Evolution
And
the
Dusty.
Rhodes again, like that. It's his son.
He's the
like
branch
that.
between Randy and Cody. Rick was Randy's idolizer, right? And his cachet. Rick was also Cody's dad's foe, and who was a kid and looking up and going, "Oh, this guy's always been a villain." Like it makes sense.
It does.
But I just like I said,
Do it right, please.
I was more excited for it until I saw Twitter today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
I agree.
you in St. Louis? Okay. I think what I think is they're trying to prevent.
Where's SmackDown tomorrow?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
It's Cowboy Bob Orton then.
Again, that's
Highly
a
possible.
theory. It's a theory.
Highly possible.
And I do think if you want to play the Randy Orton as a psycho, beats up his own father, okay. I mean, it's not quite Jackass, but we'll go with it. Like I think that's kind of like like I could see it. Do I think it's good? I'm not saying I agree with it. What I'm saying is I could see it.
I feel like generally I'm almost always underwhelmed when they do these things, so I always lean to being completely underwhelmed by when they do these things. Like if they find a way to build something up to just disappoint us, then that's usually what happens.
And plus, there now to when I mentioned Vince, there's in my mind, there's got to be something to having Stephanie randomly come out to try to give Cody a pep talk. Like there's no reason why she specifically would have came out. And then they talk about fathers, and then Cody specifically to mention, because she tried to swerve. She was like, "Oh, Madison's regarding the house my grandfather built." No, it wasn't. I mean, yes,
True.
him and Bruno, but Vince with WrestleMania took MSG. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
So related dark horse to all of this, which again, our ideas are always better than what actually happens. Shane
O'Mac.
Royal family, sister went out there. I mean, again, like
you think he comes
those
out?
Lines.
Shane comes out.
I think again. If you're going,
I'm just trying to make sense. I want to try and make.
Well, again,
I mean?
wrestling has more than one royal family. Again, Shane, royal family. If you can't bring out Vince, you bring the next thing that you can. It's not going to be Stephanie because it's a guy. I think if you're going to play this off correctly, this should be a misdirection play. It could be Cowboy Bob Orton. You could do that, and then it's really somebody else.
Yeah,
right.
Because nobody ever said you can't. I mean, the phone actually has multiple contacts in it, so it can be more one person that you're talking to.
And
right.
Shane gets the wrestling bug. Like I feel like he goes away for a few years, and then he's like,
then he comes back around Mania.
Like I feel like he's like Jones, and he goes out, starts some company, sells it, comes back, and he wants to wrestle again.
So who's he get? Who are we going to throw him off the cell this year with?
I mean, there's going to be a cell right now.
It's got to be a cell match.
I don't know what again. So let me ask, at this point, right?
Shane's there is a cell match.
I'm getting the feeling that something is going to happen. This is not prediction night. I really don't care. We're not predicting this, but I'm getting the vibe that something is going to happen with somebody outside of the ring where Randy gets 15 and he beats Cody for it. Because in a really weird, twisted way, Cody's been the champ 3 times. So when we start talking about guys who have been multiple champions, again, Cody wasn't there for a very long time, right? So it's kind of dumb, but if they hot potato Cody, he can get that number up kind of artificially.
Sure.
So the whole thing they ran where he had the title, lost it to Drew, won it back. Now he can lose it again. He can win it back. And all of a sudden, like he starts going up those ladders.
Now he's 4 or 5 time champion.
Title reigns. Yeah. So again, I think it's dumb, but I can see them.
I think that's dumb.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
So what was the tweet exactly? What did it say? Do you have it?
I bet you I can load it up and play it.
But Brian, I think that's a good point though. Like if they roll it out on SmackDown and it's underwhelming, they've gotten ahead of it already. It's like it's not. Whereas if they did it at WrestleMania and it's underwhelming, that's the last thing you want is a dull crowd at Mania. Whereas if it's underwhelming on SmackDown, they can. It's like whatever. It was a throwaway segment.
Listen, we're going to be in this match. Randy's going to be in the ring. Cody's going to be. They're going to be dead in the ring. So you're going to hear Travis Scott. Fiend.
No.
Please no.
By the way, if you
What they
want to
could
like
do
want to
is-
like him even less, you can watch the Travis Scott documentary on Netflix.
All right.
It's
I hope this plays
fascinating.
with sound.
I don't see anything. There we go.
I can't hear it.
See you in St. Louis.
But that doesn't mean we're going to see this person, though.
No, hold on. That doesn't mean it's the same person on the phone, guys. Like his phone has more than one.
Okay.
number.
Take that away for a second. I got something. I hate to bring up AEW, but I have to. Right before Randy comes out versus Cody, they play all these segments of Randy on the phone. Kind of like they did with MJF, fellas, when he's the devil. I love it. Love that. That's the only good thing about AEW. And you keep saying all this stuff, whatever, and then they go down and you see Randy's like hallway of all his achievements and all this stuff. There's Cowboy Bob in the background smoking a cigar or whatever. And then who's at the end of it? The person that's on the phone. And then he comes out and he escorts Randy down the ring and he's the one that helps him. That would be great.
You know who would actually? You know who would be? You know what? Where's Mike Consalvi tonight? You know who would be awesome if who's on the phone?
Scott Steiner?
No.
God,
Yes,
no.
yes, but no.
God,
Yes, but no.
Steiner.
Any guesses?
No, but fuck the Steiner brothers. Sorry.
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes.
Could
That
you
would
imagine?
be-
Again, like we think of. Look, they had a match in AEW that nobody looked at, so maybe you want to do it again. It's in front of people. You know?
It's Cody's brother. Stepbrother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think about Dustin.
See, this
Randy
is-
knows Gold Dust
Why are we so? Why don't we have jobs with this company? Because it's so much
For
better.
real. For real.
because they rather hire Michael P. Hayes and these other morons.
I don't know. You know, I think
I'm
God's
sorry, the
talk-
Freebird thing's got to
God's
go.
talking to
Sorry.
me. That's where I get these great ideas from.
They're also in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
I'm sure they're on the Hall of Fame 3 times over.
Yeah. When's Abyss going in? Even though he's not in the friggin' WWE.
So again,
It's a joke.
I'm if,
Lou.
but again, like that's
Lou
gonna
loves it.
draw eyeballs to SmackDown tomorrow night. It will, and I
Sure.
don't think you can say 100% that the person on the phone before is the person on the phone
That's
now. I think they want you to draw that correlation, but it might be misdirection. That's my take at the moment.
I agree with that. That's the more likely scenario out of anything we've said.
All right, so okay, before we move on to the next topic, if there is one, everyone
There is.
pick one person. Go.
Vince.
Wait. For who shows up tomorrow? Who shows up in WrestleMania?
No. End of the story mode. WrestleMania.
Vince McMahon.
Okay. Joe?
I don't know. Like I said, I feel like there's just when does Kevin Owens come back?
Not yet.
You don't think
Not
he'll-
during
he's
this.
out
Not
for a
during
long
this.
time.
Not during this. He has nothing to do with this.
I'm just saying, I want Kevin Owens back at some point.
I do too, but
I don't know.
you can't throw a Canadian in the mix.
I don't know. I would go with Flair. I think Flair.
I just think if you want to
Took one.
pull the Flair Dusty and like I beat your dad, I don't want you to be champion.
I
let your dad. I never let your dad be champion. You're not going to be champion either. You could to me with his relationship.
Blair Rhodes is just. It's always been there since NWA.
Flair's 9,800 years old though at this point.
So
Isn't it?
which means there's not a lot of time left to do it.
No, if his liver even is existing anymore.
Well, there's no match here. He's at the show.
That man
up
is still alive and kicking. You
Just show
respect
up.
that man.
I mean, he sweats like walking down the. He's got the boo sweats
Road-
just walking down the ramp.
bankrupt
Roadside
3 times, by the
assistant,
way.
rental car providing, son of a gun.
By the way, I have a great Ric Flair story. A buddy of mine used to work at a Food Line grocery store in Charlotte, North Carolina. And one night, like 10 o'clock at night, this guy rolls up in a white Escalade,
Oh god.
parks in the fire lane, just because he can. He gets out of the car, looks at himself in the side view mirror, and goes, "Woo!" And it was Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
That's
Guy
awesome.
is
There's
that
no
guy
one
is
else.
that guy
Wild.
all the time. That is
That's
him
awesome.
all the time.
But that's why it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
worked.
Ric Flair is Ric Flair.
Looked himself in the mirror and went, woo, outside a Food Line in Charlotte, North Carolina.
How is he outliving these guys?
The airplane ride from hell. I mean, he was that. He's in his robe on an airplane on a Manchester United or a Manchester flight,
Listen,
and he's whipping his thing out. Like, come on,
maybe gets a bad rap. Maybe it's a miracle drug. I don't know. Whatever.
The man's got it.
All right. If you remember the show from a couple weeks ago, this will be our last topic for the night. I had suggested that the opening promo was so damn good.
I hate you.
Because I was right.
No, I'm just reiterating it.
That happens a lot, by the way. People get mad about it.
Yeah, Dave Birnbaum
all the time. That they kind of they overpacked it so much that like you kind of created this environment where like you're not going to be able to keep up with this. And I think that that's kind of what happened to me, right? Like I feel like there's less going with this right now. Like I feel like they've already kind of blew their load early on, that now they're just kind of biding their time to get there. They were including outside people for reasons that may or may not actually matter. So as big of a punk mark as I am, like I feel like this is losing some juice. That they led so strong and it was great that now it's like, well, I don't know where you go from here.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think you were right that and I was kind of on the fence too about, making it that much personal so soon in the game. But like, as it's played out, it's like, they're just doing promo after promo. Sure, they got physical. Roman got powerbombed through the thing. CM Punk got powerbombed through the thing. But again, it's like there's just something about this build that is leaving you. What in the world are we doing right now?
Where is this going?
Like, where is it going? Why? Like, there's really, yes, there's a storyline reason why they're mad at each other and why they're fighting, but it's like, but it's not. It's not working for whatever reason. It's just really not. Maybe it's because they're both faces too, and people don't know who to. They don't know what side to choose. You throw the Usos in there, so that's creating a little bit of a wrinkle. But it's like, I don't. There's something missing with this match, and maybe it is that they went too crazy with the first promo. But then again, they've beat each other up, back and forth now, so that kind of like evens it out, I would say. But there's something missing. There's something missing, and I don't know if it's Paulie. I just don't know what it's missing. It's just not like I'm not intrigued. I'm gonna watch it because it's WrestleMania, but it's like it's not like, oh my god, we need to see this match. You know what I mean?
Lou, I think you nailed. I think to me, it's all about there's no heel. Like there's just no heel. Like there's nobody. There's no. I don't. I mean, I always root for the bad guy. You know me, like 99% of the time. There's no heel.
Who's the heel in the other match?
What match?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
He's getting a lot of cheers, isn't he? I'm just saying.
Okay.
I mean, this was the dilemma they had when that's the dilemma they had when Seth Rollins and Roman were going at each other, and Seth Rollins is getting a bigger pop than Roman
because of what he's doing.
Yeah, but I think, but once again, it just tells you the crowd's like not if they're rooting for the bad guy. Like
I don't know if the crowd's all in on Punk. I don't. I'm sorry, bro. I don't. They're not.
I don't know about that.
I don't
know that. They're just dead across the board.
I don't think they've done
that even.
I don't think they've done any of these guys any favors from a writing
I don't
creative perspective. I don't think it's necessarily one guy's not
stalemates right now.
I don't think the writers really know what to do. Like I don't think I don't think there's a long-term plan for this. If there is, like they need to figure something out.
Well, so
what they should have did was they should have took the old school, and I referenced old school multiple times now this show. Put them in like some tag matches unnecessarily, and then have, oh my god, I hit you by accident. Like build that drama, that tension. It's like, because again, they were friendly in that first promo. They were friendly in the cage. They shook hands with Z-Bros. Now all of a sudden you flip the switch and you hate me because you won the Royal Rumble. It's not linear
especially
enough.
for two people that have like been in the business as long as they have. Like it'd be one thing if I hated you because you won the Rumble, like I was like the new guy and I had no frame of reference or life perspective
Bro,
and it's just like I'm just the angry young buck who I already want my shot. Like that would make more sense. But it's these two guys who are like, I'm mad because this thing we've been in for 20 years. You beat me, and I like it just doesn't. It doesn't work. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Definitely overusing the phrase "young boy." By the way, definitely overusing that phrase in this season.
Fact.
I felt.
Is this not Attitude Era Michael's heart? Can you see a comparison to this? You have two favorable guys in the company that are main eventers. I'm not talking about Montreal Screwjob yet either. I'm talking about early on.
12.
Brett, Austin. Yeah, exactly. Brett and Austin. Main event WrestleMania. Iron Man match.
13,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. 13. Do you not see the same comparison with these two? Punk
How
came back
so?
for a reason. To renew his career, to get to that main event. He's there. Roman wants the fucking throne again. You got two guys that are literally 15 years ago, 16 years ago, all over again. 20 years. Sorry.
It was awkward when Punk brought up burying you next to your father, Christian, and then
Christian Cage.
And then Roman didn't go after Larry. Like I felt like that was when wrestling makes sense, it's okay to be obvious. Like that was where it should have gone because you talked about the risk. This guy had you fighting over a wrist. Oh, I think it's that one right there.
He talked about McIntyre going after the bracelet.
Absolutely could, and that would have gotten it going. The idea of you're old, like okay,
right?
We're gonna be really mad about. It's fine.
I don't mean to be personal or anything, but Roman, but you certainly, your years are kind of fading away too. You've had a rough route lately, pal. And I don't want to bring up the big C, but
back to perception here. Now, my perception, the way they have played this out, where The Rock is talking about family members, and Roman's telling all his family members that it's free range on CM Punk. I do not see a scenario where you can finish this without having The Rock involved. I don't see how you can do it, right? Because you opened that door. Nobody told you to open that door. You opened that door. So now,
excuse me,
I just don't see how you cannot have him involved. And again, we keep talking about this dream Rock Roman match with 43, assuming that part of the world's still there a year from now.
I'll be right back.
That you could start to do something here. If it were me, and it's not, but if it was, I personally would have Rock help Punk beat Roman, and you kind of rekindle that. Who the hell made you tribal chief? So I'm going to take that. You're not going to win that belt. And you know what? You kind of recreate WrestleMania 28, year-long build. It gives Roman something to do. It gives Rock something to key in on every so often, and you build it to 43. The Saudis will pay for it, and we're good. That would be I personally would. I do not think Reigns should win this match. I have a bias. I get it. But from a storyline standpoint, I think that you can make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. But then at the same time, I was, thinking about it. Is it possible? Is there any way possible that Roman Reigns has lost that top guy stigma? Is it possible that he comes in and it's like, well, put it this way. He's been so long with the bloodline. He's been so long with Cody Rhodes, right? He beat the MFTs. He reclaimed the original tribal chief. So he doesn't have a problem with Solo anymore. Then he's chasing after a title, sure. But if he's not what does he do if he's not champion? Because sure, The Rock comes out and hits him and costs him the title. He's gonna go away again for 3 to 4 months. The Rock is gonna go away to do whatever he's gonna do. What incentive do I have as a viewer to come back now 6 months later? Oh yeah, let's pick up that storyline again. At that point, it's gonna be washed. Because now we're talking about that match should have happened at 40. Now we're talking about 3 years later, and this big pause where if The Rock cuts a promo on Twitter, who cares? It's not in the WWE ring. It's out of sight, out of mind. So it's kind of I think Roman has to win the title because there's literally he comes back at SummerSlam for what? Who's he gonna fight with?
Okay, humor me then. Punk's there all the time. Roman is not there all the time.
Yeah.
So what you've essentially done is you've kind of flipped what it was for this title even be created. The title was even created because Roman wasn't there all the time and had this belt for what seemed like 12 years, right? So again, I like them prioritizing the title to raise the profile of the title. I'm good with that. I thought they would have done that for Cena personally. But okay. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked a couple years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roman wins the championship.
Yeah, it was Philly, right
Then-
when we talked about this.
Then what? Who was his first opponent?
But again, if he's not the champion, what does he has to either beef with the bloodline or be after a title? If
Looks
you
like-
lose to
But-
CM Punk, are you going to come back at SummerSlam? Like, because now we're, if The Rock interferes, now you have this behind the scenes drama with The Rock that now you're going to come back and just, well, CM Punk, I'm going to beat you now at SummerSlam because The Rock is then does The Rock come out again? Because then if he fights CM Punk again, okay, then what? Like you always have this, and then what with Roman Reigns because he takes so much time in between appearances, and his life since he's been a tribal chief has been Bloodline and Cody Rhodes. There's nothing else for him to do. So I don't know
So-
if him losing does anything for the future because I'm a Rock fan. I love
Yeah.
The Rock, but I know for a fact I'm not gonna care about WrestleMania 43 for the head of the table because the table's dismantled. The Usos are on their own. The MFTs are over here. You beat them. There is no table. It doesn't matter anymore.
But I'll key back into what I said way back in the day. The Rock is Roman's final boss.
Right.
And we haven't seen it yet. And again, that's running out of time. Right? So if you're ever going to do it, like again, I do think Saudi is the absolute perfect place to do it because they will pay The Rock whatever the hell he wants to do it. So
I want to comment, but I'm grabbing a drink.
have at it.
So Joe, you take over.
And again, it's you can, and I don't think Punk even cares because Punk will have won a WrestleMania main event. So whatever, give him. If Punk has to win because The Rock helps Punk, it's not The Rock helping Punk to help Punk. It's The Rock helping Punk to screw Roman. To basically, again, through all of this, to pick back up where it left off, where they had to pivot and get off of it. And then you had a year of John Cena. Like it's just one of those things where it just too many things were going on to prioritize this. Cena's out of the picture. If you're going to have Cody, I don't know what Cody does with a heel. I don't think that's happening right now. I know people want to talk about that. You set up, again, Rock and Cena, WrestleMania 28, a year-long build. And you have it sprinkled, and that's where you're going, so that even if Roman's not around, Roman can still be talking about this match. He doesn't have to be on TV talking about this match. It's not necessarily via satellite again, but there's precedent that they've done this before. The Rock's done this before. And that's when Roman beats Rock, and that's Rock's last match.
Sure. Joe
I think
Rickson,
you're right.
what do
That
you
does
think?
feel like a Saudi match. I think you're 100% right. That definitely feels like a Saudi match.
They'll pay. They'll
Money is nothing.
No.
They'll pay whatever they want because there is a profit motive here too.
Sure.
Especially if that's going to be his last match. They're gonna pay him. They're gonna pay him big time. That feels, yeah. I never really thought of it that way, but I think you're right. I do feel like that's a Saudi match.
So if you,
Now we can say what we want about the Saudi matches and them going to Saudi
Sure.
Arabia, period. But that definitely feels like a Saudi match.
you can get, and that will get people excited because now you can. I mean, and I don't. You're gonna say people might get sick of it. I don't know. Again, the way the reaction was when it was teased before, like I just feel like that door is just not closed.
But but again, it was different because the table, he was still the head of the table. There was still, he had his family, and then now, like, I don't know if on the Rock's online presence, people are starting to turn on his movies and his work and on him in general. Like before, it's like, okay, The Rock would still love him because he comes back as the final boss. We'll boo you here because we understand this is WWE. But people are turning on The Rock. The Rock is not as popular as he once was. And again, without the head of without that red thing that they were fighting over, I'm not sure that the head of the table matters at this point. I think it jumped the shark because there is no family, there is no table. All the old heads are gone, you know, and it's like the only way to do it would be to rekindle the bloodline to bring them all together again. But then now you're on version 3 of the bloodline.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
NWO had 7 iterations.
And how did that go?
Not well. Punk said you can't win without your cousins. Wouldn't it be wild if a cousin helped Punk? Again, there's a lot of things, and Punk and Rock have a history of, albeit very short, but there's something there. But that becomes secondary. This is now, because I think they have nothing for Roman after this. I really don't. Like, if you tell me Roman's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion, who's he defending it against?
Sure.
Like, are we just going to flip this whole thing and now Cody's your workhorse champion or Randy's your workhorse champion? Like, I don't see that. So, like, I don't know where you go. Like, there should be a road, that there should be some kind of logical stuff. Okay, so, Roman wins a championship, shows up on Raw the next night, and I don't know, Seth Rollins, and then you go there. But, like, Roman's kind of done this dance with so many people now that, like, that's the one he hasn't done. And if you're ever going to do it,
it's now or never.
It's 12 months.
Yeah, you have to do it now,
or you're never going.
You're running out of time.
You're just not, or you're not going to do it, and that's okay. But at that point, you're just not going to do it.
I have a special drink for our special guest, Joe. This is called a Philly Standard in honor of Kyle Schwarber.
Yes, yes.
This is for.
I've had many of those.
This is for the Philly fans out there that
thought 1-3 was the beginning of our season. Stop it.
Yankees a little bit.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, I can't move. I'm sorry.
They played the Mariners. They suck.
There's going to be this. First of all, just to this point, I want to say, does Obafemi need to beat Brock Lesnar?
I think so. Unless he completely squashes Brock and Brock pulls it out of by the skin of his teeth, then that's a different scenario. But I do think he needs to beat Brock Lesnar to establish himself as this is his yard now.
But how does he squash it out? Does Brock cheat in some way? Then Brock doesn't really need anything at this point.
Brock doesn't need to cheat, you know? I don't know.
Brock's on his last leg.
So to Jeremy's point, I
think The Rock's
that's something else that never got paid off.
Randy Orton is the third major face to heel.
When he did the things, the fingers. I don't know that even meant anything.
So
I don't know.
Okay. Well, okay. So if he's the third,
thanks for watching, by the way, Jeremy. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So we're saying the first two are who? Cena and who else?
To turn heel for Cody at Mania. Randy's the third major.
You already had you had John Cena.
Oh, Rock is 1. CM would be 2.
The Rock, and then you're saying Randy is 3,
and then Randy would be 3.
But Randy already turned heel, so it doesn't make sense.
So I think mentally you have to throw out everything.
I don't agree. I like it, but I don't agree with it.
I think you have to throw out everything that involved Travis Scott and Cena and everything, because clearly, like, whatever they were doing didn't happen. So, like, I think that they're not even going to discuss that. They're not even going to talk about that. Travis Scott doesn't exist. Like, that's not going to be where they go. So I think
Fiend.
But that I just
sorry.
If it's ever going to happen, I think that, again, if you end WrestleMania with The Rock having turned on Roman,
Henry,
people talk.
Sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong about that. It's just, again, I don't know how they stretch it out for a year. I don't know, because
they did it before.
Yeah, but Cena was there every week. Neither one of these two jabronis are going to be on TV for at least 6 months at a clip.
I think
John Cena was there fighting everybody and mentioning it here and there. Oh, movie star, now it's on you. He was there. If Roman Reigns is not present or tweeting, he doesn't tweet. He doesn't do social media. He doesn't do appearances. The Rock is always doing movies. It's like, how do you carry it without one of them consistently being in your face? You can't. It doesn't. You couldn't
just kind of sprinkle it along and like build it. I mean, it's going to be slow, right? But
that's what I'm saying. Like, so okay, so what are you gonna do? A teaser at a random Backlash or a random? I was gonna say in your house, but just a random pay-per-view. Oh, by the way, don't forget
you mean like when Rock showed up and stared at people and did this and left?
Yeah, like he's not gonna do that. Roman is not gonna come out and do that.
Stupid, by the way.
It's like I don't see a way for it to be built over the year because they're both gonna be off. And Roman Reigns is not a social media warrior like that to even just do tweets all the time. So that's a tough sell, man. That's a tough sell to do it for a year.
When are we going to go back to where wrestling was wrestling and we stay away from social media? Because I feel like the
that's out of the bag too.
That's gone.
Like,
yeah, that's
okay.
gone.
I listen. I understand it, and it's breaking kayfabe and all that shit. But it's gotten out of hand. It has.
I think the problem.
This whole St. Louis bullshit. We're all stoked, and it could be nobody.
I think one of the functions of Unreal is you kind of don't worry so much about Rebecca Quinn versus Becky Lynch. Like you kind of just, they're playing a character and it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
The days of Ted DiBiase going out to bars and buying out the bar and Vince was money because he's $1 million man, and Mark Calloway showing up like he's dead everywhere he goes because that's the cat. Like those days are so gone that it's just never returning.
Yeah.
So the social media thing, they got to use it to their advantage. Again, I think they see themselves as a content company. So you could do.
I hate technology.
So okay, but to your point, right, Lou, we're at a point in history where I don't think you absolutely have to be building this on television.
Right, but Roman is not at all on social media.
No, okay, well then we change that. He just does, but if he has to be, then he's gonna be.
I guess.
Listen, if this becomes a Twitter battle between Punk and Reigns in the last 2 weeks, I'm out. I'm sorry.
No, I know you are, but there's a whole generation of people under you that won't feel that way. That's my point.
I mean, you're seeing it. You're seeing it with Danhausen already. Like he's got one segment on Raw, and there's 4 additional segments on TikTok, YouTube Reels. Like it's
yeah. Randy might have given it.
More.
Randy was just tweeting a major piece of the story. It wasn't on television.
It's true.
Like it's just that they're looking at it differently.
You can't have handlers. You're absolutely.
But isn't
right
that
about
taking away from your actual viewing audience at that point, though? Like, when does it become?
You have to remember that young people now. Like I work in the social media space. This is like my territory.
I get it.
They consume content different than you and I consume content. Like they're not watching 2.5 hour long NBA games. They're watching 10-minute clips on YouTube.
Well, to be fair, no one's watching the NBA right now because it's terrible. So.
But they're going, "Did you see that game? Did you see that awesome dunk?" And it's like, yeah, but they lost. Well, that doesn't matter because I saw it on. It's stupid. It's dumb.
It's
but
the big flash.
That's right. That's how young people are are absorbing. It's stupid, but that's how they're absorbing content. And so that's just they're hedging their bets with the future, hoping that maybe they'll watch the full show. It's dumb. It's a horrible way to consume content. It's why every person under the age of 18 is an idiot. But that's
it's another discussion for another.
So this is absolutely cooled off. How does it heat up again? I'm going to take your question and I'm going to spin it. How do we heat this up and get people invested? Because it's kind of gotten sour.
It's too late. WrestleMania is next week or the week after.
No, 2 weeks.
Because if they try to do something ramped up, now it's obvious they're trying to ramp it up because it's been so stale, and now it's the same thing as your dead dad thing. It feels forced. I feel like
they've dropped the ball again.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
They blew their load early. That was perfect. It was
like that cheerleader in high school, Brian.
Dude, it was that. I was there. That was awesome. But they just went too soon.
Another wrinkle that none of us have mentioned, and I forgot to mention it, was that how Jey Uso was orchestrating Roman the week that Roman beat up CM Punk from the outside. Like Roman was ready to leave, and he hit him with the Joe. He didn't even hit him with Roman. He said, "Joe, go," and he told him to go hit him. So he hit him, and then he powerbombed him through the table. So there's a wrinkle too that there are some saying that Jey Uso might be the one behind. Like now he's orchestrating everything. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Here's why I don't think
Jay's the only one that's an individual guy too anymore. Like he's not all in on the tag team scene. So.
Whether it's true or not, the character that Jey Uso plays on TV does not seem to me to be a criminal mastermind. That's all. I don't think you can be this.
What, Joe? Do that again, Joe?
this genius who thought.
Question 2: They came out this week, right? The Usos. Did they have
New
another
song.
new entrance song?
New
Well,
music.
because it made no sense that 2 people came out to "It's Just Me, Us." It was the dumbest thing I
Also,
ever
but
heard.
here's the thing: he was not a good champion. So, like,
No, he's
how
terrible.
you're right, how can he turn around and be this like criminal mastermind when he couldn't even hold his own belt?
Yeet's dead, so
I will tell you that I think Jey Uso's run as a singles competitor is over.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I agree with that.
I
It
hope
didn't
so.
work. I think he couldn't handle it, and that's okay. You know what? Some guys are just tag guys. Okay, it's okay.
Brian, we talked about this. It's to me, it was just Kofi 2.0. Like
Yes.
the fans, the fans willed
100%.
the guy in, and it was
Yeah.
clear from the now. Like we talked about this, like even back then, like we predicted that Kofi was not going to be a great champion, but they kind of had to give it to him. I felt like we all kind of felt like he wasn't going to be.
Kofi's a
great champion
jobber
either.
now. I hate to break it to you, too.
Oh yeah.
You see that match he was in on Raw?
I'll tell you what. This
His
day and
Danhausen
age,
segment has been the best thing he's done in like weeks when he moved out of the way.
He's
That
a
was like did not
jobber,
get the
dude.
curse. That was the best thing he's done in like
Jobber.
a year.
in this day and age, they put a title on
And what are we
Fandango.
doing with
The
Austin
crowd is
Theory?
doing the dance.
What are we
Oh
doing?
yeah.
What does
Yeah.
Austin Theory have to do with the New Day? Like, what?
Again, I think what happened with
Can
all
we
of
send
that
him back to Australia or wherever the hell
Hold on,
he's from?
Hold on.
Like,
Braun, but hold on. Braun got hurt.
come on.
Bronson Reed got hurt, and then Braun didn't get cleared enough to go after Seth. Seth didn't want to do something with Logan, which made much more sense.
But
This is the I don't know what you're doing type stuff, like we talked about earlier. Like it just feels like you're just trying to make matches now, and everything's feeling rushed because it is.
Yeah. And Gunther he essentially came out randomly. Like, is he helping Paul Heyman, or did he just come out because he felt like Seth needed a
Did Seth
lesson?
and Gunther ever? Did they do something? Am I not remembering?
no,
They never had a
I
thing,
don't
right?
remember.
no,
I don't remember.
Mm-mm. Never had a match.
But now,
one-on-one,
now
no.
there's another problem. You have a guy who's been off TV for weeks and a guy who's returning from injury. So do you want to re-elevate your career killer or the guy who's coming back from injury that you want to, like, it's just odd to put them together too. Because it's like now you're clashing who
I
you would
don't-
want to get
I
over.
don't see how Seth Rollins can beat Gunther though. Like you can't. That makes Gunther weaker, and Gunther's already at that pinnacle.
Right?
It doesn't
I
make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't think you need I think what can happen here is there's no finish to this match.
Yeah, it's gotta be dirty.
Vision does something to Seth, or Braun comes out and takes out Seth to set that going off, and then doesn't even matter.
Could be.
I
That
like
could
that.
be. Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't think of that.
But
I like
so back
that.
to your point, I don't know that Oba needs to beat Brock. I understand why people do think that, but I think the fact that Oba's in the match at all makes Oba.
Especially if it's close.
Yes.
If it's really close.
Does Brock
I
put
don't
Oba
think-
through? Does Brock put Oba through Suplex City during the match?
Can he lift him?
Sure, why not?
I'm sure
Brock
he
Lesnar.
can. I'm sure he
Here,
can.
what I don't want is Goldberg Brock Survivor Series, where like somebody just smashes them for fun. Like
You're not gonna get Goldberg because he's not in the match and he's too busy.
Yeah.
No.
messing up with
Back
Harley
in
Davidson,
Survivor
so.
Series, there was that match where it was Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, and Goldberg came out of nowhere and beat him in like a minute and a half.
That was
Stupid.
so
Yes.
dumb. Oh my
Yes, it was.
god, that was
Yes,
so
it was.
dumb. That was his
Not
intro
that
was
first one,
long.
Joe. Come on.
His
Come on,
intro
Joe.
was. You were with me when I booed Goldberg because I was sick
You
of
booed him.
this.
You would
I
have
was
had
the
a
about
one.
a
I was
fourth-
the one guy in the arena
about a
booing
fourth match.
Goldberg because the intro was longer than the match. It took 4 minutes to get to the ring, and
Yeah,
it was
but
like one
look at Joe's
spear
face.
on Brock, and it was over. And you're
But
like,
that
what?
first return match was booked perfectly. It's just that you kept bringing him back.
I was
and-
chanting Gilbert the whole time. That's mine.
Joe,
That's
Joe,
mine.
if you hate the entrance being longer than the match, please don't watch WrestleMania 6 because those matches were short.
WrestleMania 6 is terrible.
What?
That match at the end was all right. All right.
Kidding me?
We've gone a bit over,
Lord.
which again, as I told you all before, this is what's going to happen. We're going to talk about 95 different things that are not
I
even
came in late. Sorry.
That's okay.
Which I will add before we end. I
Yes.
was watching a highlight of Hulk Hogan's entrance at WrestleMania 8. It came up on my TikTok feed, right? The one where he's saluting the crowd,
Yep.
right? And we miss, you know what we miss? We miss an elite announcer, man. Because Howard Finkel, he really made that whole era, brother. He said, coming down the aisle. Bro, when Howard Finkel said coming down the aisle, you knew something was going to happen. We
Yeah.
need an elite announcer back, bro.
Hold
The
on,
one thing-
pause. We had one at 40. She's gone. I'm just saying.
The one thing I always
did.
hated
We
that
did.
Howard said was, "This next
It was
match
great.
is a tag team attraction."
Yes.
Like, I don't like how you don't talk like a carnival guy. Attraction? Nobody talks like that.
We missed
We work,
Ricochet's
look,
wife.
I work in sales. I coach my teams. Talk like a human being, or then people who are not going to listen to you. Like that same idea.
So you don't use corporate jargon?
No, I hate that.
I love it. That's awesome.
People will not remember a damn thing you said, but they remember that they understood what you said at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I will say nothing else. You're right.
I appreciate that.
In case you know.
Thank you for not being mad about it like everybody else always is.
No, listen, man. An email came in to my inbox from one of the department heads talking about, I would like to echo your sentiments on. Man, don't talk like that, bro. Get out of here without
Echo your sentiments.
I read that. I checked out, man. The email wasn't for me.
Who sent that email?
A department head in my company.
Can you forward that to me? I would like to respond.
Lou, have I provided you excellent customer service today?
Have you what?
Have I provided you excellent customer service today?
You did.
Clearly, you're reading a piece of paper. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah. Listen, man.
I tell them, would you call your voicemail back? Then change it.
So, question.
You wouldn't call you back. Ain't nobody else calling you back.
Yeah.
Question, though. Serious question. It is Thursday. Well, it's almost
for another
Friday.
45 minutes, yes.
Do we think anything changes from now till WrestleMania? Card-wise? Anything?
No, I think the matches are there. To me, the play tomorrow is misdirection.
Yeah. For sure.
If that's all you have, like the secret phone call that you've been building up for a couple weeks becomes his dad just shows up randomly on SmackDown 2 weeks before, that's done.
If his dad shows up, I better see the Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's all I can say. Bury that motherfucker.
Anyway,
why we bring everybody else back at WrestleMania? Why not?
Our goal is to 2 weeks time to reconnect and do our actual prediction show before WrestleMania weekend. If you recall, last year it had to end abruptly because my wife swore that there was a gas leak in our house, which there wasn't.
Yes,
so that was my house.
Remember that?
Yeah,
that was my house. If you remember, that was my house.
You did have one. She's like, "Get out, you're gonna die." I'm like, I can't just end the show.
I had 2 gas leaks. What paper?
Like, hey, sorry guys, take care before we talk about Cody and Steve.
Brian, what paper? Wait, hold on. Was that SummerSlam? With the gas
no,
leak?
that was Mania 41.
That was WrestleMania. Yeah.
Did I miss that one?
No,
My
I
gas
don't know.
leak.
No, I had to turn off what we were doing because I was flying.
You had to turn off.
To Fort Lauderdale in 2 days. And
I was supposed to go to. I was supposed to watch a pay-per-view at your house, and it was a gas leak.
That might have been SummerSlam then. Yeah.
Okay.
That might have been SummerSlam. It might have been Cleveland SummerSlam, which unlike WrestleMania had people at it.
Right, Cleveland.
Ayo.
So, thank you all for watching. Catch us in 2 weeks where we'll actually tell you what we think is going to happen and be totally wrong about it, as we normally are. For everybody,
Perception versus reality.
Like, follow, and share. We appreciate that, and we will catch you on the flip side. Take care.
Take care.